and welcome again to this week's episode of The Damaged Goods. I am your DM, and this is the crew. Without further ado, we should just get right into it. So... Thank you so much for bearing with whatever the hell that intro was. Thank you. So yes, let's get into the episode. Let's start with a little recap. Last week, let me just kind of bring the energy down for a second. Last we left off, the damaged goods, in an attempt to recover and find a long-lost sibling from one of their members, had led their travels to both Candlekeep and, by proxy, Dragonspear Castle. However, upon arrival, things were not quite as they seemed, and amidst the churning, chaotic, relative confusion of a ruins that was sort of preposterously changed by some being, you found out through intonation and discovery that there was a creature manifesting this realm by its own accord. A beholder, a terrifying being that you now know calls himself Silork, of the Endless Abyss. And in a rather unique turn of events, you found yourselves meeting face to face with the creature in its great entry hall. Underneath the mosaic of a dragon sprawled sort of in half flight, you immediately leapt to action. Death rolls, confusion ensued, and towers were brought down. However, when the dust settled, the creature, beckoning you throughout the entire fight to join it in its legion, changed its tune at the last moment. Two creatures, which it had called its minions, had arrived in the entryway, and it had said, amidst its sort of bloodied last breaths, to find its body and hide it, that they needed to move on. And then everything went black. And you found yourselves, first, your barbarian friend, awakening at the entry that you had only noticed before, however, not filled to the brim with water, but an empty ruin of derelict dust and decay, but an entry just the same. The portcullis that you could see through leads your vision to a ruin, not unlike the one that you had seen before, however, far more dilapidated and also far more real. The blackened, starry-strewn sky above is something that, for the last day, has evaded your guys' glance, as it is recognizable as the one that's above Faeriden. And the ruins themselves, like a lens had been put over your gaze, are clear and concise and real. Behind you, instead of a blocked, barricaded door, is a smashed opening leading down into the countryside below. But you find yourselves each awakening at the exact same instance amidst a handful of bodies who have met their fate in the same place. And as the dust settles, what do you guys do?
Okay.
Well, I'm not a skeleton, so that's a good start.
Is
Anybody
everyone
else?
here?
Wait.
Accounted for.
Is Nuanen here? You here?
I'm just like standing still and like watching all of it.
Okay. I saw you melt. And then.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It.
Hmm?
No, your bodies were
No.
just
No.
lying there.
Val's usually the first one to
What's
speak.
wrong with
Where
you?
is she?
What's happening?
Val, you're
Am I-
not paralyzed.
Am I not paralyzed?
Can I kick her?
No,
over?
all of the. Oh, I should have mentioned anything that you sustained in the last like beats of battle has fallen away. And also, upon closer inspection at the entry, just as you're kind of looking about, you notice that there's this sort of fine whitish mist that appears to be settling on the ground, almost like morning fog meeting the day's heat. It's like evaporating quickly before your eyes.
Can I make an Arcana check on that?
Absolutely.
I help you. Yeah.
Can I inspect the bodies? I want to know how long they've been here. Yeah.
Roll an investigation check.
22.
22. It appears to be laden with some essence of Arcana. It shifts and shimmers a little bit in the light, and it isn't unlike the miasma that had laid over the ruins just moments before.
Damn illusions.
Is Uldan here with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Can
Just
I
make sure.
Can I pull out my orb of time and see
Yeah.
if it's working or what time of day it is?
Yeah, as you hold it, the warmth of your hand illuminates the orb, and you can see clear as the night sky above you, a bright, starry sky.
So this is
Oh, it's night.
real.
This is real. You're
I mean, unless we're drinking.
What was your investigation check?
12.
12. The vestments of these individuals are generally arcane. They match similar vibes to what Grudj and Uldan is wearing as far as like spell components, pouches, and things like that. There's about 5 individuals, and as far as decay, I'll give you a medicine check. However, they don't seem to have sustained like physical damage, and as you are looking at your body and to anyone else who had lost hit points in your body, there are no like physical defects in your body. However, you are haggard, almost like psychic damage has brought your maximum down to what it is right now.
21 medicine check.
21. That's pretty much exactly what you see. However, most notably, there's about 2 sets. There's 3 individuals who are right next to your bodies when you wake up. I'm providing like the topmost layer of corpses, and then 2 on the outskirts underneath that look like they almost like clawed away before expiring on the ground. The second set, the 2 appear to be about a couple weeks old. And then the 3 on top of you are like about a week old.
I will begin dragging the bodies to the side and kind of
I'll help you.
arranging them peacefully.
Not to cut anything off, but I think our captor is also
Yes.
badly damaged and trying to escape right now. Should we probably be
I think-
concerned with that?
The bodies will not move on their own, Dex. We need to find the creature that did this and remove it.
Why?
Well, if they plan on setting up shop again, we don't want to be here when it goes off or anything like that.
I'm akin to ask the same question. Why? Seems like it was fleeing.
Well, where is it free? Under the castle? So that it gets
point
to
of
a safer-
information.
Yeah.
With my Mantle of Whispers, it says I learn enough information to pass myself off. Does that mean just having the shadow, I know the information? Do I have to put it on to know the information? If I put it on, do I only get the information if questions are asked of me?
What is it?
I'll say it's kind of the language is a little like murky.
Right.
So I'll leave that to how you interpret that feature. Do you think that you have to put it on to understand like the information of this person, like to channel the soul through you?
Yeah, I think that's more dramatic and fun.
Then I would say probably that.
Right. So then the counterpoint to that, or the last question that I asked, do I only get the answers as they come up, like if people are asking me questions, or do I just know the information?
I'll say you get a rush of information at the beginning of that feature, and then as someone is talking to you, you'll recover more information. It's like surface thoughts versus digging deep.
Okay.
So I'll say like you kind of understand the gist of who that person is, base things, their race, what they look like, what accoutrement they have, certain things about their personality, but the specifics require a little bit more question and answer.
With that, check. I still do have the shadow, correct?
You do.
Okay. All right. Do we need to know more information about this creature? Because I feel like we may be able to. Nobody freak out. And I'm gonna pull the shadow like across my body, and it's
Describe this.
So I'm gonna pull the shadow like out of my body, and it's just gonna be this like murky black cloak that kind of like oozes its way across my body to make me taller, and then I become the man from the beginning of the story.
Nuanen's gonna draw her axe immediately.
Took her head off.
I think I at least pull a dagger.
I see creepier stuff than that, but that's up there. That's at the top
Is
5.
she in there?
Where is the master's body hidden?
That's a very good question. You still hear my voice. Like I know how to make it sound like him, but
No, please don't.
Alythia, are you in there?
I'm fine. Give me a second. There's a lot of information here.
In the moment's rush, when you pull the shadow over you, you feel your full embodiment sort of shift and change. There's a chattering at the back of your consciousness that seems to pervade your thoughts. In the only way I can kind of describe to you as a person who would be sane is it's a discordant chaos that is aligned with an insanity. It appears that this person was holding on to what consciousness they had and were incensed by their veneration of a godlike individual they had believed was their salvation, and had spent what time that you can understand devoting themselves fully to this god, this deity, this thing beyond them.
In that devotion, do they know how to contact, how to connect or find?
Yeah.
Or does the being just kind of appear to them?
So, could you read that feature one more time? I just want to kind of get this.
As a reaction, what a humanoid does within 30 feet you can capture the shadow until you use it or you finish a long rest. As an action, you can use the shadow to disguise yourself as the dead person for 1 hour or until you end it with a bonus action. While you are disguised, you gain enough information to pass yourself off as the person. Another creature can detect the disguise with an insight check versus your deception. You gain a +5.
Okay. So, there's not really a format to like kind of dive into the information of the person. I'll say I'll give you an intelligence check to kind of like try to dig into its like last breaths of its mind.
Rational thought.
Because if you're trying to pass yourself off as them, if I ask you where it's hiding,
Like, where's your daddy?
But
would
like,
need to know that.
would I tell
Maybe
you?
have a vague sense of like it's near
Good
here.
point. Very good point.
Did he anti-cheat?
The skills
It's a shame
is
that's
where
not-
my
It's just a base intelligence check.
intelligence is gonna be.
You got this. Not quite.
I think I can help you.
I don't think you can.
I'll give you a +5.
I don't think.
It's nighttime. We're gonna go to bed hopefully soon.
That's still only a 10.
I'll say that there are flashes of imagery that pass upon your subconscious. That stained glass image of the golden creature becomes physical in form, and you can see it in the chapel with you in one sort of flash. You can also see another moment where you're in that same great hall with two other individuals, the dragon and that sort of wolf-like beast that you guys had only encountered moments before the spell had been severed, or that thing had been severed, the dreamlike state had been severed. But other than that, it's just sort of flashes of images. You don't know if he had like a place in which he was hidden.
It's all very base information. I don't have anything specific. It seems like they're using the castle itself as a base. The chapel of sorts. He has a lot of images in the chapel, but he's also a cleric, so
Colbert, do you know you smell him around, boy?
Here's the thing. The main hall is right there. Like, it's behind that
The
door,
ruins.
right there,
Hold
like
on.
30
Can we-
feet away. So we could just go open it.
Spread it.
can we see from here? It's ruins, so I just want to know: can we see into the chapel from here, or is it like
I would
enough
say
walls that we cannot?
the war scarred and battle blasted ruins that are before you are similar yet distinctly different than what you had encountered in that wherever your consciousness was held. Before you see what is the ruins of a temple directly in front off to the left-hand side. That entire roof has caved in and dropped the structure on top of itself. Beyond that, to the left side, is sort of like the wooden ruins of a greenhouse / courtyard of farming. There are stables in a building that is still upstanding behind the walls just off to the right of you. And then beyond that, the castle proper, you see these huge explosions of impacts, or where impacts hit the building on the second and third floors. Largely, most of the roof of this structure has crumbled and fallen off to the sides. The base sort of front of it that you guys had entered in before is strikingly similar. One of the doors is like half open. But the chapel, what you can tell from your experience with the map, was off on the eastern, or let me see, I think it's the western wing. I have a map. And you also have a map.
I was passing it around.
Map.
I think we're on the side away from the big food hole.
Should we try to...
The southern wing. So it would be the southmost wing of the building. Was described to you.
Should we try to
This
take
is north.
advantage
I
of
don't know,
your
south.
new
You do see
clear
that
spell?
the walls on that side of the castle are just on the ground.
Do what?
Well, if there is minions trying to move an almost dead beholder out of the castle, maybe you could interact.
Convince them to pause for 1 second, guys.
And we know that you were probably a cleric, so maybe they were looking for you to help bring the thing back.
Razzle dazzle 'em.
I have to agree with Uldan here. If it's almost dead and being dragged out of here, why are we chasing it down to finish it off?
Well, what if it just goes and takes a nap and then gets us while we are sleeping at night?
Clearly, this thing's been a problem. I flop over one of the dead bodies. It's a little bit too
I'm not
close.
necessarily sure that it wants to give up the castle.
What about Vander? Wasn't the whole point of coming here to find Vander?
Well, I don't want Vander to run into the thing we just ran into. What happens when he gets here and then he, I don't know,
And when is he
dream
supposed to
shits
get here?
himself to death? I don't know.
It's probably within our best interest to at least clear the castle of
Yeah,
whatever is here.
boogity boogies.
Because even if the beholder's
If
gone,
not just
but
to make it
there's-
easier for the expedition.
Yeah, because then we don't have to watch our backs. At least if we clean the castle, we know.
Point of order, though, to your point, most of the atrocities that have hid within Dragonspear Castle, I don't know if you are all informed on its very dark history,
No.
have come from above and beneath. the ruins, he sort of points out to the whole thing, are built on a dwarven settlement deep below the earth. So there are catacombs that one could either enter or escape to.
So, if we go, we proceed with caution.
Agreed.
Daxlaxl take off his quarterstaff and have
Yeah.
it ready as he turns to face the
If
castle.
there are catacombs, wouldn't that be hard to find anything?
I recommend that we don't go into the catacombs. If we find the entrance to the catacombs, we could seal it.
I do believe we may be headed there regardless.
We're going
Yeah,
to have
right.
to.
The portal, I'm guessing, is right under the castle and not deep in the catacombs, right?
I don't
That's
know.
a
It might be
blatant
deep.
assumption, Peter.
Dax will look over at Nuanen,
like-
make eye contact, and then start walking up towards the castle.
I will
Yeah.
follow him.
Do you
Yeah,
want the
okay.
truth, or do you want to believe your speculation?
Well, so you're saying we're going to have to go deep underground.
Well,
Most likely.
in the
Alythia's gonna get
Let's
behind
go.
these two as they're talking and just kind of
the
push them
preparatory
along.
research that the I'm walking, but
But like awkwardly
I'll
is
lead
the
your
like
side.
weird large cleric thing.
the preparatory research that the expedition team had to conduct before we even brought this up to the Great Reader was pinpointing where this room was. It's not so far beneath as if to enter the Underdark, but it is quite a ways under the surface.
I do think we're walking, but I do think that once we get to the portal room, if there is a pathway that goes deeper, I don't necessarily want to go past it, but if we could like seal it from being a problem,
I think we've done a lot today. I think it's been really good.
yeah, because I don't want to like.
Let's not try
Let's
to
get to
push
the
it.
point where we need to get to,
We have different definitions of good.
but then
Yes,
don't go
let's continue.
past it. Because why? Why would we go?
It's
past
a short jaunt to over thickets and blasted masonry that had comprised this courtyard to the doorway. It is open, and beyond it you can see a light-streamed room from the openings in the ceiling. That same mosaic that you had seen minutes before, sitting undisturbed in the center of the room. But most notable is a small, scurrying creature. It appears to be sort of about a 2.5 foot tall kobold with 3 bags on its back that is in the process of sprinting from the mosaic to the back of the room behind one of the war-blasted stairways out around the alcove. Upon your approach, it hears you
Hey.
and falls on its face,
Oh, okay, it's okay.
tripping, skittering a little bit before dropping a crystal that clinks on the ground, a brilliant red stone, and as it yelps, it scrambles over the crystal, grabs it, throws it in its bag, looks at you all, and books
Hold
it.
on. How far away is it when we first see it?
I would say it's about 60 to 90 feet away.
Okay.
Hey, wait!
I'm gonna reach
I
over.
like it. I like it.
I'm gonna take out some putty. I'm gonna reach over. I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder. I'll be like, grab it, and then I'm gonna throw the piece of putty at the creature, and I'm gonna teleport you
Yes!
right next to the.
Holy shit! Okay.
Okay, initiative, please.
Yay!
Question:
Yeah.
Is my golem still out? I got him for an hour.
He's
I will
he's got
say
the
that
job.
he is currently not with you.
Okay.
Is it a concentration spell?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say that you can bring him back
You wouldn't have summoned
if
him.
you'd like.
Eli, can you put this on the dunce
Yeah,
chair?
sure
Thanks.
can.
No, actually, that's not true. Technically, in the transition from whatever consciousness you were to the consciousness you have now, you would have had to break consciousness.
Okay.
So
Okay. No, just
you did break
question.
concentration.
I tried
That's
to
for
grab
everybody.
concentration. Well, we got a little.
Initiative first.
Damn it.
Yes.
What is everyone's initiative rolls?
Oh,
19,
real
21.
bad.
Sounds good.
Let's be strong girl team.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my last
You're
one
usually
for
above
my.
me.
Okay, sounds good.
17.
Okay.
Pretty good.
For brevity's sake, he's at the bottom of the initiative order.
Okay.
I don't know. I got a 4.
Oh, before you, but oh, and before you. So the only people who are before are you, and you, which means that your spell can go off. You feel yourself shunted through the material plane, and you arrive next to a very scared, tear-stained kobold who screams upon seeing you. And then starts running away as fast as possible. You have a full action before it gets anywhere.
I also scream. I'm gonna try to grapple him. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna try to grab him
contested strength rolls. Roll your.
without hurting him.
Just scoop him.
Contested strength roll with a kobold. Is he a
You're
small
gonna have to
or
like
medium?
fail.
So what,
He's a
what
small
did you say?
creature.
Strength test?
Yeah.
Or,
I think
Yeah.
he can use his dex. But
Right, but isn't he at disadvantage?
Oh, good God.
22.
I thought it was a size thing. Yeah.
22.
No.
sure.
You grab him by the backpacks and nearly rip through its like worn leather front. And as you do so, you see a few pieces of bloodied cloth fall out of it,
Okay.
as well as some other odd medicinal ailments. Picking him up, you bring his face directly to you. You have him grappled.
Tie him up. Slip it.
I
Don't let him get away.
No, please don't, no! Don't hurt me, don't kill me, no, please just let me go!
You have some really weird trinkets, my friend.
He clutches the gem to his chest.
Hello.
Don't!
Hello.
I know you're here to steal us away and to make him no more, but please just let me go!
You were saying a lot of words I don't understand.
Is this the
I'm holding on to everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
Do a little circle. Can we make a little circle around him?
As
Does it need to be a
unintimidatingly as
It could be
possible.
this
oh,
way.
Flicking his
Oh,
little
no,
feet
no.
and trying to scrabble in the air away from you.
Can I like hold like instead of just holding on to him, then just trying to like kindly hold him
Sounds good.
like a little pet.
Yeah, he'll start scratching you, but
You like
Cute.
You like it.
Like holding her. It's like
for
holding
brevity's sake, I'll
Holding
say that
Jesse.
this, yeah, it's easy enough with all of you against this small
Yeah.
kobold. You were saying something?
Yes.
Oh, just my terrifyingly creature. I was just gonna walk up to it as close as possible and try to intimidate it.
Kyron, you managed to make it safely. Thank you so much. Explain to these people to let me go, so we can. Wait, you're not Kyron. No,
Why do
you're
you say that?
you're an illusion. He's not here. Let me go. Let me go.
How did you see through that?
He starts to grab the crystal and begin to shove it in his
Yeah,
mouth,
sounds
trying to
fun.
swallow
Can I
it.
grab it? Can I try to get the out of your mouth?
I
Get the I grab it. Get out.
Can I take it?
Can I start
take it?
tickling?
I'll say yeah. Roll a strength check with advantage.
Can we roll a Dutch check to see how well you tickle?
Yeah, can I tickle him?
Tickle check?
Tickle check?
I'll say that gives him advantage.
Yeah, juicy advantage.
14
I'm
minus
already
1.
so in love with
Sounds
whatever
good.
this is.
Upon tickling him or like grabbing onto his sides, you feel he's emaciated. Bones and skin.
Hungry kid?
And as you tickle him, his mouth opens with an God, what am I trying to think of?
Giggle.
Well, yes, but like one that's not what he intended. The gem pops forth. You grab it, and he immediately goes full feral and begins to scrabble towards the gem, saying,
gonna-
"No! Don't take it! Don't take it! Don't take it!"
I'm gonna step out of the circle of people and go off on my own, and I'm gonna examine what I have grabbed.
We'll give it back. We'll
Weeping.
give it back.
Maybe.
So I don't think Dax ever joined the circle. I think he went beyond it and is like making sure there's nothing waiting in the wings for that.
And I'm gonna go with you to investigate.
I'm gonna
Okay.
ask him,
In case
what is
it,
your
like,
name?
Tries to eat your mind.
Oh, he's
I don't want that.
Yeah.
at this point. I'll say that he is full sobbing and in absolute hysterics.
I would also like to just look around for signs.
I'll give you a persuasion check at disadvantage.
signs of life.
Perception check.
Not survival.
If you wanted to investigate the ground, yeah,
I'm
like
just looking for just signs of people passing.
yeah,
through.
whatever you want to do. They'll just
Okay,
give you different
research.
answers.
Yeah.
I'm. What should I roll for investigating the gem? And
I
That
would
might be useful.
say I'll give you an Arcana check.
Well,
Okay.
you try
Um,
that and let me know how it goes.
Seven.
Maybe I can help.
7. He's
Have a
screaming,
magic
crying,
class.
and
Might help.
in full chaotic
We'll see.
breakdown at this point. He says several times, like, this is the end. There's no more. It's all over. The dream is done. We'll never be ourselves again. You've come to kill us. And it goes on and on and on amidst the crying and screaming. Yeah,
I was like,
Oh,
Just
wow.
stretching out my arms.
that's okay.
We should just
Go ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay, we can
be
switch
on the
next
other
time,
side of Nuanen, and as he's like screaming and crying, I'm gonna like try and like get his head between my hands and be like, it's okay.
His weepy eyes lock with yours in this moment. Whereas he was sort of frantic before, he looks into yours before, like, the epitome of sadness strikes you, and he sort of folds into weeping and like silence, looking at you, and just continues. What did you guys have?
12.
13.
13.
Well, 14.
Juicy 14.
The entryway is, there's no signs of movement, and there doesn't appear to be any real like signs of cursory life around you
sure.
at this point. What was yours?
A 14.
14
If
for
I
Arcana.
don't learn anything, I'm gonna give it to Grudj.
It glows. It appears semi-magical. I don't know. It's very important to this creature, so you would imagine it's important.
I'm
What
gonna
was
give it
yours?
to you. What is
Okay.
this?
Does the shadow remember a time before it was insane?
Yes, the shadows try.
I'll give you an intelligence check. Dax, did you have something?
Can I ask him and be like, why are you so sad?
Roll persuasion at disadvantage.
Can I make an Arcana check on this thing? He gave me the orange ball.
What is the
Oh,
red
the
gem?
red gem. Yeah, I'll get to it in just a second. What was that?
3.
3.
That's not
Um,
Dang it, can I help?
Whereas before
Try to get prompt.
he was very vocal and loud, he's dropped to near silence, other than just uncontrollable sobbing.
Can I rock him a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is our baby.
Oh, what was the Arcana?
Oh, I'm gonna try to figure out why the kobold's in this room. I'm gonna look around.
26. It appears magical. It matches the gem that was laden into the red dragon that you had faced before.
I'm gonna call out and be like, Dax. And just like call you over.
Yeah, if I haven't seen anything else in the room, I'll come back over.
Could I have Clover just do like a once over to smell for other kobolds, beholder, smelly boys?
Yeah. Investigation? Well, I mean,
Can I do
yeah.
a smell-based perception check because I have advantage on those as a dog? Or
Sure.
Clover. I don't have them.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
What's that?
10.
While she's holding him, as she's calling him over, I'm gonna try and ask, why are you crying, child? I don't remember what the voice is, but it's something high-pitched and obnoxious.
Super creepy, Clara.
Amidst the sobs, his gaze tries to avert from you several times before locking eyes again and bringing them up, and says, "You're gone. We're gonna be gone soon."
You're all going to be gone.
We all are.
Why?
It's all your fault. And he looks at all of you. Before
Does the dragon on the ground look familiar?
The kobold? Oh, is he a red one?
he is. He is gonna try and strike you. You pull back as his claw narrowly misses you, scrabbling. Yeah, and then continues to insensibly start
So you,
sobbing.
you said this looks like the gem on the dragon?
Yeah.
Does it Do I get a familiar vibe from the dragon etched on the floor?
I'll say yeah. Roll a perception check.
Okay. Could I get down on my hands and knees and do it that way?
What?
Like, instead of looking with my eyes, I
Investigation,
feel
is
with my
that
hands.
what you'd like?
Yeah.
You can roll an investigation check for sure.
I got
Physically
advantage on
probe
those.
the space
That's
on the
fine, I
floor.
understand that. Yeah. What's up?
23, that should be
Can I cast suggestion once he's done with his deal?
For sure. What are you asking to suggest?
No, you can finish this first. Then I
Okay.
can go figure it out first.
So, 23, I'm kind of like, what's going on here?
Yes. So the mosaic, now that you're close enough and without the chaos of battle around you, you're able to really see the full mosaic. This immense adult bronze dragon in these flecked stone that looks almost like tiger's eye as you see it inlaid on the ground is dusty and old. Swiping across it, there is a rider about half size to a human with a spear brandished in its tip towards the sky. You see it is beautiful and intricate, well laid and of dwarven influence. At the crest of the dragon's chest, there is a piece missing.
Grudj? Still got the gem?
Is it, what do we...
Reuniting the gem with the mosaic beneath, you all feel the ground shift and shake just a little bit as the mosaic starts unfolding in on itself and dropping into a staircase.
You probably would have had time to do the thing you wanted to do.
He's starting to just scream and cry.
I'm going to cast suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wisdom 16 save.
Let me see if I can make that. Do. Nope, not a 5.
So what I'm going to suggest is, I think you want to show us where your leader is running to. It says that I can make a stipulation before. No, that's not going to work the same because it says that it has to be a stipulation of that before the activity.
What is it?
Can be completed. So I guess the way that the spell is worded, I could make a stipulation like I want you to stab the first person that walks past you or whatever. So that's the stipulation, is that the first person that walks past you. But I don't think, because I wanted to add the stipulation that he believes that I am who I'm pretending to be, but I don't think that's gonna work in this situation.
I would say you're dead on. If you want to just word out the suggestion for me, just say exactly what the suggestion is. Because you said, obviously, it's, take me to your leader, but...
Mm-hmm.
Take me to your leader.
I mean, that's very direct on point.
Show us where your leader is hiding, is the suggestion.
You see his eyes sort of, they go slack, the lids relaxing a bit as the spell washes over the creature. Silence and calm comes to him. And he says, okay, I need to be set down.
I will
Nuanen,
second
take the
down.
backpack, but second down.
Oh, there's 3, right?
Yeah, there's like 3 stacked bags.
Sorry. And I just like gently try to like take his backpacks off and set him down.
Rustling through the bags, one of
I'll
them
hold his hand.
jingles with like
Yes.
metal implements. The other one is like largely cushy, and then the one that you had seen or slightly ripped appears to have a lot of medicinal objects in it.
Can I hold his hand?
Anyone want these?
Yeah, absolutely.
If he's willing.
We
I
can
don't
dump them into my
yeah, I got
Other
places.
backpacks?
Yeah.
I just kind of stuff them into my
Add
knapsack.
3 backpacks to
Um,
And then
Holding his hand, he slowly begins to walk you towards the center where you two are now residing, before not even breaking speed starts to descend the staircase down beneath.
It seems
Come,
that
everyone.
I'm gonna go stand next to Dax.
Yeah,
You're,
I was like, I'm in the lead with holding his hand, so.
Oh, right.
Standing right
Valenccya, do you want to be in the middle? I always feel a little better. Than
Sure, yeah, I try to be equidistant from everyone. I'll try to be in the middle. I'd like to blow off a divine sense real quick.
Yeah.
Anything celestial, fae, fiend, undead, not behind total cover within 60 feet, or anything under the effects of the hallowed spell, and I said that first.
It does not appear to give off anything in the direct vicinity. As you can say, cascade down these stairs.
Does that move with you?
No, it's like a
In the one time. Okay, no problem.
60.
Cool.
I can do it again though. So
You
it's-
notice the masonry gives way to rough-hewn stone, and as it transitions from sort of like stacked bricks and large stones that are connected with mortar to carved smooth surfaces, all in the same masonry that this entire castle is. But as you descend into the darkness, you can hear echoing up through this chamber voices, particularly two voices that appear to be made in sort of hushed conversation below.
I'd like to proceed quietly.
Stealth checks.
Yep, stealthing.
I get on the broom. So I just think quietly.
Stealth
first, but
check.
I know,
No
I know,
worries
I know.
about it.
Woo!
Don't you have a heavy armor? No, you have medium armor.
It doesn't
no,
matter.
it's
what
heavy, but
armor
it's
I
mythic.
have. It doesn't matter.
Dude,
baby.
that- oh.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
I think they have.
Same.
Clanky. All right.
Who wants to go first? Everyone.
I got enough
I was
stuff.
like, I'm already in the lead.
We go in the circle.
19.
That's good.
9.
That's so good.
15.
19, 9, 15.
8.
The big number.
I
over
also
here.
got an 8.
No, motherfucker.
We're gonna die.
You said stealth, yeah?
Big juicy number.
Um,
Hold on, let me bring the average up.
30.
I'm too tired to do this.
Take it up the mantle.
It's so big.
I'll say your group does move quietly. The stairs eventually transition from the mosaic tile that you had seen before into these. They connect with these huge stone slabs, and the room begins to sort of bellow out and open. Before you get to the bottom, the stairway is about probably like 10 to 15 feet in radius. And at the bottom, there is an archway that leads into a softly illuminated sanctum. As you guys approach, you can hear very clearly the voices of those two individuals begin to clarify. One of them says, "Brigund, check the doorway. I fear we have visitors." Before you hear the skittering of feet, and in looking, whoever is... Can I get a marching order?
We can all hear
we're in
that,
the
right?
lead.
Huh?
We can all hear that.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Let's pick up. You do! And I'm gonna cover around with my gun. Put your hands up!
Good God!
That's our boy.
First.
That's our
I'm
leader.
imagining we're bringing up the rear, I think.
First and foremost, you see the yellowed eyes of
God damn it.
a small goblin, who appears to be dressed in like rags and skins, like matted furs, dashed off one shoulder, on all fours, beginning to pursue like towards the doorway before he stops and skids on his feet. But most notably, in this relatively empty chamber, at the very center is this slack orb of pinkish pebbled flesh, about 4 to 5 feet in diameter. Haggard, breathing, as you can see it sort of softly expanding. One of its eye stalks has been severed and is on the ground. Its eye is a sliver and it's facing the other direction, almost trying to keep it up at this point. A large pool of blood is welling underneath it, and the only other notable feature that you can see is the body of a crumpled a humanoid that appears to be near it. One of its eye stalks is gently caressing its form. As you guys enter in. Before you can really do anything, you have the gun brandished, and
My
Don't
favorite.
move!
as you do so, the goblin pulls out his claws in near defiance of you and howls at the ceiling, willing to take all of you on at once.
You're not a wolf anymore. I don't want to kill you. I don't wanna shoot up the.
Shoot it, Peter. I wanna.
Before you hear the voice of the creature behind say, "Don't kill him, don't shoot, just... You're here for me. Kill me if you must."
I don't know if I need to, because you look like a pile of mush right now, and that feels weird. Because we killed another person in a net in the dream, and that didn't feel that great either.
You found me,
Mhm.
so I suppose my time is done.
Could you?
Could someone else talk?
Yeah,
Can I
Dax.
recognize
What other people want to
Peter,
do?
Dax.
Peter.
Peter.
Roll an intelligence check.
What is
I
it?
gesture for you to like stand next to me and
Why
Dax.
don't you come to me?
Nat
Because
20.
Natural 20. You saw a pinkish orb before in a tapestry like a few hours ago on the backside alone
I will.
before wading into the mists on its own.
Well, I meant what the creature is.
Oh, it's a beholder.
Oh, it's for sure a beholder.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Small in scale. It appears to be about 1/4 of the size of the beholder that you faced. Its coloration is pinkish and fleshy. Its eye stalks are segmented like that of a worm. And the sliver of an iris that you can see facing the wall is a dash of violet.
does it have 10 eye stalks too?
It does not. Just counting off, you can see about 6 that are still on its body.
I put the quarterstaff on my back, and I walk down past everybody all the way up to it, and I put my hand on
I want to give
it, and
you
I say,
a backup.
Don't forget to reattach the eye stuff.
"Tell me what you're doing here."
As you touch its flesh, it gives a little bit, and you feel its breath resisting against its body. It says, "I traveled here. I was without my legion. They saw me unfit to live in the endless void, and so I sought my own kingdom elsewhere. There was no one inhabiting these ruins, so I made it my dreamscape until people began invading, trying to take the space from me and mine." And you see his eye stalk begin to pull the body closer to it. You can see the crumpled form of a dingy white-robed Duragar body underneath. And as it pulls it close, you can see it is very dead and soaked in its own blood.
Is it the headless? Is it headless?
It does currently have its head.
Oh, okay.
It's
Are
just dead.
Is the goblin also emaciated, like the kobold?
You can see
All
the
of
sort of
them?
its dash of clothing. Yes, it appears to be emaciated.
I am a healer, and I have the ability to let you walk away from this, figuratively speaking.
I'm gonna pull out some rations as well and offer it to the two minions.
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage.
One.
Sorry, continue.
But I cannot I cannot heal you if you will be a danger to me and my friends.
I have only known traveling. And if my kind is willing to go with me, we will create dominion in the churning void. We don't need to be here. You can have anything that you want. And as you look behind it, you can see there's this relatively familiar. You've seen this before, once before, a blackened circle that's opened on the ground.
Swear to me that if I help you, You will not harm anyone unless they intend to harm you.
I squint at it over Dax's shoulder.
Its eyelid lifts, and you can see the full brilliance of its centered eye. As it turns towards you, in a similar manner to the anti-magic field, you feel a wash of energy. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
My persuasion was an 8.
Oh, they
I
are.
rolled an 18.
I'll get to
and
that
an
in
8.
just a second.
23.
23. You feel your eyelids begin to grow heavy before saving from it. This is a unique creature. I'll get to its responses in just a second. Roll off.
So, do you want more purpose than just ruling? Like, how would you feel about, like, working?
Our purpose is to rule. I was created in the image of absolute perfection.
Well, what if you had, like, employees? That's kind of like ruling. And you don't have to kill anyone, because you'll be paying people to help you. You could have as many as you want.
Minions.
Sorta, yeah.
In a way.
As long as they can
They'll do what you say, especially if you give them stuff.
I cannot promise that. I will not fight for survival. You see his eye sort of turn back to you, Dax.
But what if you don't have to?
It's not what we asked for.
I can promise to leave this place. And I can promise to do you service.
See, it's a choice. You can leave and do whatever you want. But if you want to have a higher purpose than just, like, roaming the void, I guess? I mean, you got some useful skills. What you did to us was kind of nuts.
Are there others of your kind like you? Let's see.
There are a great many of us.
Oh,
I wish to survive. If that means that I can leave this place in debt to you, then I will. But do not hurt my kind. They have done enough.
With him saying that he would be in debt to us, I'm gonna drop the shadow. I'm going to drop suggestion, and I'm gonna let go of the kobold's hand.
Okay, sounds good. The wash of, I guess, sort of like the... I'll say that the kobold doesn't necessarily like run from you, but it does clear its distance and immediately break distance with how you know now as Brigand, and it's going to pull them close and then make a dash over to the creature before grabbing its fleshy body into a sort of a hug, and then sort of clawing at its back for the bags that are no longer there before looking around the room. I'll say this is kind of happening as the conversation is still unfolding.
Is there sincerity in the way the beholder has said that they will not attack us and will owe us a favor?
Roll insight.
I don't know what happened.
13.
Hard to tell. This creature is speaking in a way that is straightforward and very methodical. Their mind is something that you haven't quite encountered before, and there is a lack of sincerity but an intention to its words.
Is it speaking straight into our heads?
Oh,
Or is
it's
it
speaking
speaking
with
out
its mouth.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, just double checking.
If you are not truthful, we will not be fooled twice. And I'll cast Healing Word at the third level.
Okay. Roll hit points.
Do you attempt to reattach its missing eye?
Why are you so obsessed with his eyes?
How would you feel if
Is
one
it
of your
missing
eyes
eye?
got gouged
I
out?
don't know. I don't have 9 of them.
It
Yeah,
would
we
probably
know
hurt.
too.
It would suck, right? Yeah. I don't know. I feel pity for this creature for some
Seeing
reason.
them run from my offered food, I will look at the beholder and say, family, minions cannot be sustained by dreams alone. They require food and a break to sustain themselves. Your minions may not last long if you put them back into the dream for a period of time.
Do they look amazing?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Extremely.
Touching his body and giving him a wash of health. What was the amount?
So yeah, I put my hand there, and just the waterfall starts to trickle slowly down the hand, and as it reaches the fingertips, I say, "Live," and I heal it for 12 hit points.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then that's a bonus action. So then, as an action, I will also, with the other hand, reach into my pocket, pull out a jar, open the jar, and then pull out some paste, and I will use Balm of Healing on it.
Okay. Give me them hit points.
Is it crazy? I'm kind of thinking, what if we let it stay here? It would make for a really good deterrent of people trying to get into this space.
I can't fault someone for trying to fight for their territory.
I
The
can't
only-
fault someone trying to find a
Well,
family.
see, the thing is people who come here don't know ahead of time, so...
You could put up signs.
Yeah, caution.
I know, but
Beholder ahead.
we didn't get a chance
Warning.
to look at any
What-
signs.
What was
All
it?
employees
Was it?
must
What's those
wash
like?
hands before
Those like
we
dogs?
arrive.
Like
We
the
wear
wear
a
of dog.
beholder?
Yes!
Sorry. What were you? Okay. So how much was that?
What are
So-
signs going to do if you arrive and are
If you
already
teleport
asleep?
in,
What was that?
It's called Balm of Peace, and it's 12.
12. So 24 total.
good God.
Running your hands over its body, the healing that you're able to give it, you feel its form lift off the ground and begin to levitate. As its whole form turns towards you, it looks to you, Grudj, and you should make a wisdom saving throw. And anyone within its gaze, I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm sure
Probably.
mostly all
We're in
of
Okay,
you.
well,
18.
Sounds good.
Alythia plus 5.
Thanks.
Dax
Everyone gets plus 5.
plus 5.
Love these saves, y'all.
Wisdom, you said?
Yeah.
Damn. You guys.
Oh, motherfucker.
So,
I think I
could you do us a
failed.
favor and only use your other 6
You said plus
eyes?
5.
It's his main eye.
Exactly. You have many eyes. You do not need to
Wait,
look
what did you
at-
roll? Don't talk about this. What did you roll?
I rolled a 16.
Cal. Okay.
Plus 5.
That's well, technically this is our range.
Yeah, so you would get a plus 1.
What'd
So
you get?
maybe-
5?
No, wait, 10. Sorry.
10?
Yes, I got 10.
Sounds good. What everyone else get? Nuanen?
19.
14.
Oh, you're impervious to sleep.
Oh, so am I.
19.
Yeah, you as well.
Okay.
15, I got a 2 plus 13.
Okay,
I thought it was
sounds good.
something else.
15? Okay, so Valenccya, you all,
Fucking stellar.
whoever's closest to Valenccya, feels her begin to go slack.
do I
As
lose
you have to
consciousness?
hold her up, she begins to fall asleep.
Oh,
Valenccya,
Clover's gone.
your vision of the room shifts from a space that's dank and dark and relatively modest to larger and vaulted, and the same creature looking at you with its golden sheen like an orb directly in front of you. It says the same words that it says to everyone else. Addressing you specifically, Grudj, it says, "Do not condescend to me. I know what creatures need. I am a ruler first. The lack of food here is not my fault, and our dream of sleep sustains us. We have had hard times, and that is not our fault." The creature is also, like, I would consider it gaunt. Its face, although fleshy, does pull away at the sallows of whatever bones lie beneath.
This place is pretty uncomfortable. I mean, we could get you like a hotel room with a few beds. That way.
Alternately, let's not encourage him to come toward more people. Why don't he's got a pocket dimension he's gonna go into, right?
Well, no, it's the dream.
If he's
Let him
up
go.
now, is he still caressing this body on the ground?
Yeah, he's lifted it currently.
Is it within arm's reach?
I'd say yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to it, and I'm just gonna say a silent prayer with my hand on the body.
Okay.
Just asking to let this creature rest.
Okay.
What I've just did.
I'm sorry, you said there was like a black hole thing behind it, right?
Yeah,
So
there's
it could-
apparently
there's
like
a
it's sort of
door.
like a rug on the floor that's just a black hole.
That's what I thought. Okay.
However, after it says that to you and after you caress its creature, it says, "Unless there is a way for me to fulfill my deed to you currently, I wish to leave this plane with my family." He looks to you. Family? Find some semblance of safety in the sea.
How do we call to you when it's time to pay back the favor?
That's a really good question.
So
I do have the ability to speak across planes.
As do I.
I think this will help, and I pick up the eye stock. We'll hold on to this. It'll make it very easy for us to get in touch. Sorry, it's a little gross. I'm gonna put it in my bag.
I'm sorry. Am I still asleep? And no,
Yes.
everyone
gonna-
just.
Oh no, we
I'm
would have
gonna
woken
walk
you up
over
at some
to-
point.
Super cool.
I'm gonna walk over to you and like. go
I
up to
somebody
you
did that
and
already.
grabbing you.
I'm in your debt. This will suffice.
And what do we call you?
Searlork.
Spell that for me, please, DM.
Searlork? It's XIRLORQ.
XIR.
Yep.
And that's it.
Oh my
Zero.
god.
There's a brief pause before he says, "Emperor of the Endless Abyss." And a sort of a wicked
falls back.
smile crosses his lips before the two of his minions sort of close ranks with the body behind him. And in sort of like a flash of brilliance,
No, we didn't get to tell you what our name is.
We want to know the names of the rest of you.
he casts a spell, unless someone has the
What are
ability
your
to
children's names?
do it.
Let him go.
Okay.
You see one of the rings that you hadn't really seen prior
Yeah, none of us know
flashes
okay.
on one of his
I'm
eye
like
stalks,
combining
and
these.
he disappears in sort of like a blackened hole that puffs into a miasma of white smoke.
Okay, goodbye.
Val! Wake up! Take!
Wake up.
Does,
Where's it gone? It's gone. Where'd it go? Guys, did it leave? Where is it? Is it nearby?
In your dream, you heard the exact same thing.
Oh, I heard
Wait,
everything.
you just didn't hear
I heard
us.
everything. I heard everything. I don't know what I was doing.
Who's the scryer / sender
You?
in the group? I mean, I make the cheese, but it's,
What do
it takes a while.
you
I
mean?
did
Like
that for myself.
locate somebody,
Okay,
or
because I got and I pull out the floppy eye stock. This will help you.
Can we
Right.
preserve it or put it in a jar?
Oh my
It like
God.
is like a huge dead worm.
Super
like
foul.
do you have jars for this sort of thing?
I mean, sure, I put it in a jar and then I hand the jar
Ooh, it's so much worse.
to
Like,
whoever.
Peter.
Oh my God.
I need. Okay, so I want to do a check for this, but I don't know what to do.
and Daxlaxl is
I'm
screaming
saying,
like a
what
stomp
I'm
in a
trying to
jar.
say is that I want to take stock of the inventory of jars that you have because I want to
Oh.
know if you're running
Roll
low
for
or not.
jar check.
Luck check and then a D100.
Okay, hang
Let's
on.
just roll a d20.
No, I think I got it written down.
Okay, that sounds good too. If you're keeping track of it, I'll go off that.
I have 6 gallons
Hold on,
of
I'm gonna
oil.
see if I do have it. God, there's a lot of stuff on.
Hey, Uldon.
Yeah, what is oil?
Yes.
He was just waiting there.
Just yes.
He's like in the back by
You're
the
right
stairs.
next to me, actually.
Yeah, right.
No, he didn't come in the room.
Also,
He just watched from afar.
scary boy.
You you doing all right there, pal?
Swimmingly.
You just scratch your
I
back.
see that.
Why? Was there some reason?
Well, this seems like your vibe. I just thought you'd be more interested.
If I'm putting it quite honestly, I'm more interested in this room than that creature.
I look around the room.
Yeah.
It appears to be a concealed sanctum of sorts. It is closed and it's been cleared of pretty much anything. You do see there are these relief sculptures along the walls that depict several scenes, about 6 of them. But other than that, this room has been completely stripped bare of any furniture or masonry other than the walls and floor.
You find your jar.
No, I don't have my jars written down.
I was
so
trying
what
to
did you want me to
distract,
do?
so.
D20.
I suppose we'll chalk it up to creatures being
No, that's pretty
creatures
good.
and
Dumb luck, right?
call ourselves a day. However, it would be remiss for me not to say that you all kept me from dying, and to that I also owe you a bit of a debt.
You and me are good.
You did a pretty okay job too.
In saying myself, I should say, you owe Candlekeep. Candlekeep owes you a debt.
I'm fine for now.
Before we move on from this room, I would just like to thank you all for allowing peace to come from a place of violence.
Roll a fucking wisdom check.
19.
19? Sounds good.
Nothing. You get nothing.
Good enough.
It's been a long few days. It's been tense. And in this moment, in the stillness, sort of cradled by the stillness of the earth, there is a quiet that pervades this space, and in the hushed tones of echoing conversation, you take in a sigh of relief, knowing that you are at peace with the world around you.
I can't fault someone for protecting their family, least of all a found one.
Yeah.
However, I could have done with less getting hurt myself. But in the end, pity has its place.
Skirting the side of the room, you see Oldon begins to sort of like look at each relief sculpture and begin to write down certain things, doing rubbings.
Yeah.
Is there anything worth money in here?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go check out the hole.
there's a black hole going over to its precipice. You do see into it. It is a deep well that you've seen once before. There was a
It's like 5
how
feet
do I
deep,
describe
right?
this? My brain is kind of putty today, huh? The dragon hunter that you had encountered earlier had one of these. It is a portable hole, and it is filled with things. At the bottom of this hole, you see about 7 large to small objects. I'd say about 3 of them are these big gilded paintings, probably 30 feet,
Holy
or
shit.
not 30 feet, sorry, 30 inches wide to 60 inches wide. No.
Can
3 to 5
we
feet wide.
Pick it up?
It is a portable hole. You lift up the side. It flops
Jumbles
like,
it out.
anything. You can reach into it and grab the things out. There's about 7 art objects in there, as well as a few other objects. Well, let me kind of take stock of what we have
Just
here.
gonna go ahead and set up an identification
I was gonna
circle.
say I can blow a detect
We'll
magic.
just start laying out all the stuff, taking note.
And everything in the room that's magic drops out.
Well, all this.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah,
I
talk
was
amongst
like-
yourselves.
Who wants to keep track?
I can use
Is
a
it me?
detect magic
Yes.
to know.
Okay.
I can keep a second track.
I'll write them all down, and then we'll divvy them out.
I might be interested in keeping some of this art.
It does look very nice.
Cute. Dax, you can have all the
Oh,
art.
Jax, I forgot to ask. Do you want this portrait of yourself? I don't need to carry it myself.
Well, I think
Why
you will
are
get more use out of it than I will.
That was a wonderful comment. Thank you,
Okay.
Dax.
What's in the hole, by the way?
Quite possibly, yes, actually.
I'm checking it out. I'm just kind of
I may
grabbing the
submit it
things,
to an
setting them
art
out.
exhibit or
That's
something.
Yeah, Alythia, do you know of anything
Trade
in
it.
Yes, that's very
Daggerford
true.
that would
Maybe
like
somebody
an art
wants to
show?
Can we
make sure
take
they
a
make
short
it.
rest while this is happening?
Yeah.
Okay,
It is
cool.
a very attracted
that
naked
happening,
bodies,
I'm gonna do a
so
song of rest.
I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I could just ask Dax to get naked. if I need to
Okay.
see it.
You want me to what?
No! No! No!
Not at the time.
No! Y'all hear the Dulcimer of Illusion begin to play. Actually, the same song that I played for the hobbits is the halflings on the island 300 episodes ago. It's a happy, jaunty, fun thing.
Okay, that's nice.
I have written down somewhere what it is. It's above
Alythia,
that,
I will say, as sort of like a point of order while you're doing your short rest and plying your your dulcimer, I will say that in the hole, the portable hole that you found, there is amidst the art objects
I'm kind of going through it and setting it out. So
beautiful bronzed lyre that has these sort of trellised decorations along it of fig leaves and berries that sort of drip into these brass strands that comprise the lyre itself. There is also an object, it appears to be a hammer. It's near unfinished, as it's mostly just the handle of the hammer, but you do see that there are these runes deeply etched into the side of it. It's blackened in hue, and it has this sort of like point at the top that turns into like two prongs. On either side, it appears magical. You do also see a staff at the bottom that is sort of blue and slender. It appears to be made out of a material that sort of evades your understanding, somewhere between like a petrified wood and an iron, as well as just underneath it are these sort of wrapped bracers.
Oh, Song of Rest. I don't know how you want to handle it at this table.
You roll it.
I'm rolling it? Okay.
Give it here, baby.
Actually, I'll ask you, do you want to roll it or do you want everyone to roll it?
That's
I think everyone else should roll.
No! Did I ask you?
My
We're
song.
rolling.
It's my song. It's my magic. You get 2.
do you add anything to it?
No.
A warm
No,
tea.
it's just a D8. You just if you used a hit die to regain, if you use 1 hit die to regain any hit points, you also get +2.
I'll use
Oh,
it.
nice.
I can
I'm gonna reset myself to full.
If we have, does that take 10 minutes?
It's an hour.
I think it's an hour. A short rest
Okay,
is an hour.
so if we're sitting for 10 minutes, can I go on like a brief summary, inspiring leadership speech of like Dax, really good form out there,
Did we
really
not
good
have one this
responsive. No, we
Yeah,
did.
we
It's all
did.
gone.
Like a huddle?
Yeah, I have a huddle. I'm like,
You
well
can
done.
do it
Great,
more than
you know,
once a day.
Every rest.
anytime in a short, yeah.
It's a feat, right?
Alythia, great, spell work, and you did some playing. That was really good. Peter, again with the potions, just coming in, and the magic, right? You're so strong. Like, did you see how you murdered those pillars? 10 minutes of that.
Yeah, you murdered
10 minutes of that, and then everyone gets 14 temporary hit points.
Sounds good.
They go away.
Mark off your temporary hit points. Mark off, the Song of Rest is just like hit points, right? Like
Yeah, but it's just
everybody-
plus if you
Perfect.
used a hit
If
die,
you used a hit die.
then you get
Add it
+2
on.
as well.
So you can take an hour to identify things, right? During a short rest.
I'll say that you have enough time at your disposal to go about identifying pretty much anything you
I'm
need.
gonna pick a thing and identify it, and then I will give you the remaining 3 items to identify.
Okay.
Can't I?
And I will take the hammer handle, I guess, and I'll give you the rest.
Alright.
And then during the hour, I'll
Yep.
spend some time just manually identifying it.
You said you did a detect magic?
No.
You did.
Val did.
I said I can. So if we'd like to check the room over, I don't know that it.
We
I
did-
was more concerned about the items that were possibly
Yes,
pocketing.
I can
I'm,
tell you.
I'm setting up an identity.
I will say that the items
We
that I
already
mentioned
done
all
that.
give off an aura of magical energy.
Cool,
And
perfect. So
obvious.
now we just have to figure out whether or not they're angry.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
so
just
like-
learning about
I'm just identifying them.
I also do have a remove curse, just in case anybody puts anything on too quick.
Identifiers.
Perfect.
Where are you starting? What items are you going through first? Because I'm going to tell you about these.
So you're going to be able to identify everything quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spend an hour identifying.
And I'm going to do cards next time, so everyone will have them.
Okay, sounds good. So
I
that's
don't.
the...
We start with the bronze lyre.
Yeah, I'll start with the lyre.
As you watch Alythia like go to touch it, you're
Just
like,
like,
ah!
Just like
We don't know what it
salivating
is.
a little bit. Ah, it's so pretty. I want
With
to
our
hear the
luck,
noise
it's probably
it makes.
super cursed.
Yeah, it's true.
Just like everything else.
Pulling it closer to you, you see these. It's just this, like, lush, vegetative instrument. There's these just grapes that are sculpted in metal off the side that drip into its strands of the strings. Fig leaves that adorn one side.
I'm identifying it.
Yeah, first one. This is called I don't know how to like say this correctly. Sleaze lyre. It is an instrument of the bards. It is a legendary. Well, not legendary. Sorry, I shouldn't say legendary.
I was like, what?
CLI.
Oh, I was thinking sleeves, like sleeves.
CLR.
Oh yeah.
It's an instrument of the bards. Is the item description, and it is CLI. So Sly's lyre, and it is a magical item that can be attuned by bards, which expands your spell lists and gives you an array of spells. So there are spells that you can, you would know this through identifying it. Don't play it unless you've attuned to it, unless you want your brain to hurt. And it does expand certain spells depending on the instrument. You can also go into further research as to like the actual bard that wielded this item before it was.
Don't have the entirety of its information, but Alythia,
I should be able to add
you
it.
very much want this.
Can you?
Good, 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 good.
Do not play. Do not play until you've attuned to it. It will hurt so very badly.
It only takes an
Just
hour.
like caressing the outside as I'm like.
Lacing the strings.
Continue on. We'll continue on forward.
What's the next one? Wait, you're identifying too, right?
Well, I'm
He
not
doesn't
using.
have
I'm
the
not using a
spell.
spell. I'm doing it manually. So
Okay.
The blue staff.
The blue staff, I'll say after a period of time, this is a staff of defense. It is actually a sort of homebrew item. It is a quarter staff of defense.
Dax. I do believe this will be of use to you. And I hand it over. It's a quarter staff of defense.
Holding it in your hands, you see these swirling etchings that almost look like roiling wind that go down the staff from top to bottom. It's apparently a nice staff. It's magical. It's a quarter staff of defense. You can look up staff of defense. It's a staff of defense, but it is a quarter staff as far as melee purposes are concerned.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's
Awesome.
David's staff.
Thank you.
And for the bracers.
Those are bracers of defense, which is an item as well. Bracers of defense.
Nuanen.
Well,
What?
we should think about this, right? Do you feel like you need to be harder to hit?
I'm fine. You can give them to whoever.
Because I was thinking, we got someone over here that's really easy to
slots
punch.
do you have left?
Yes. How is everyone doing on their attunement slots, which you
I was-
completely understand?
In metagame, how many attunements
Above
does
game.
everyone have?
Okay. So if we're going to have a metagame conversation about who's got what, do we want to break for dinner?
Well, I'm gonna do that in just a second.
Before we
Let's wrap
discuss
things
this.
up.
I got one
If you
left.
guys want, just like go around attunement slots. Does anybody have any available? Raise your
Hold on.
hand.
Hold on, there's one more item that we should bring
There
up
is,
before
yes.
talking about attunement slots.
Okay.
So
The last one, the sort of two-pronged, I guess, like, what am I trying to, like a hit? It's not a hilt. The thing
like a
is like
hammer
a
handle, right?
handle. It's like a handle.
like a rod. It's a
Yeah.
rod.
When you identify it, you can feel an energy thrumming from deep within it. This is called a dust crusher. It is a hammer. Instead of its regular form, it is the hammer form of this. It is a
It's
very
regular form
powerful. Oh yes. Okay, so it is a hammer, but it's a two-sided hammer. It does have to be activated to be used, but it is very powerful.
It's two-handed though.
It says given be.
No, it can be used. It can be wielded in one hand. It just has two ends.
Oh.
Is what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna use this.
I mean, if you can, I can't.
Yeah, let me bring it up too, just so we kind of have some.
Do you got extra space?
I
Take this.
only have 1 of 2 items, so
You should
I mean,
take
yeah.
this. It's very vibey.
Smash
I don't.
people
Is
with it.
I'll tell you. I'll read it out to you. This is a very rare item. It is. It's Radiant Head. When you activate it, you gain a +2 bonus to your attack and damage rolls, as well. And attacks with the weapon deal radiant damage instead of bludgeoning damage. An undead creature hit by this weapon takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. And there's a bunch of other stuff. You got to look into it, but
That's a Val vibe weapon.
it is
right
a Val
there.
vibe, but if someone doesn't do radiant damage and would like the
See, the
ability
thing is,
to,
upon closer inspection too,
But
you can
it
see at the
stacks with
handle.
your stuff.
There is a hand that appears to be gripping the bottom of the handle, and it's like cleanly cut off one side. If anybody wants to make a religion check, they can.
Sure,
wait,
why not?
Like a real hand.
No, it's like
fleshy-
a metal.
oh,
19.
it's like an
It's
element
cast.
of the
Yes,
design.
it's an
19.
element of it.
Oh, okay.
1 second.
Like I would have taken that off.
Peter, why did the hand attached? It's like a
Peter,
skeleton
that's
grip.
disgusting.
I know.
Come on, dude.
So wait, what are the bracers? What do they
They're
do?
called bracers
It's
of
They are
defense.
bracers of
And
defense.
if you have any armor on, you can't use them. So
But
it's
you don't
between
wear-
Dax and Nuanen.
You don't wear armor, do you?
The single
I have leather on.
the cut hand motif is a religious symbol of the god Tyr.
Oh, it's for Tyr. It's originally used by a follower of Tyr. Tyr's a good guy.
Well, yeah, I just don't want to like send me Oelke any mixed signal. Do you think I can ask her?
I mean,
we'll
you
talk
can
later.
pray.
Yeah, I'll pray about it. You know what? I'll pray about it.
You know, if she really doesn't like you doing it, then she would just stop it from working, right?
That's true.
I'm gonna pray.
Dax, you were looking at the items too, right? The artistic items.
Paint,
Yes.
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 A few points of order. There are a whole range of items, like about 3 to 5. Like I'll say 4 of them are paintings. The other 3 are art objects. One of them appears to be like a very heavy stone column that is expertly chiseled and beautifully polished. A marble that you really haven't seen before. Very valuable. You do also see in the paintings, the depictions and motifs are, I'm going to say, roll a history check for me. 9. Some of them, 2 in particular, appear otherworldly. One of them is sort of this brassy landscape with this sort of very warm, sunsetted background, and there's a sort of city that spires and spirals up towards the sky, and it is laden in these sort of golden leaves, almost as if the city itself is made out of brass. There are some other ones that are near abstracted to our understanding, like above game. They seem similar to like an abstraction. However, the motifs that are common within the world of Faeriden right now are not these, and they don't necessarily match. They could be fetched at a very high price.
They're big though.
I like these ones, and I'm gonna grab the ones
ones
that are
you like?
abstract. Like over
There's 2 of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's a smaller one and then there's a larger one.
Yes, I like these.
Are you planning on carrying
Are we gonna
them?
Have
Or
a portable hole.
Is there a way that I can like?
I mean, we
They're
can
big. Well,
just leave
most of them are big.
Leave them in the hole.
Oh, yeah,
Just
watch
leave
this.
the hole.
Right.
Oh, good
Start
idea.
rolling.
Oh, yeah, I should say this. I've already said it before. One of the items is the portable hole.
I will take the
So-
portable hole because I
We
currently
just-
don't have a thing that I can store a lot of shit in.
Dibs on the abstract.
Of course, yes.
That
Um,
column looked really nice too.
I was
However-
hoping- oh, is there money in there?
No, there doesn't appear to be any real money.
Damn it.
Gems.
Just items, like
Okay.
big, beautiful, artistic items.
Well, that's our money from this adventure, unless people really want to keep it.
I will say though, while you guys are resting and talking, items unfolding and histories of these artistic pieces sort of culminating in the back of your minds, I think will break, and then we'll meet back right afterwards.
Right.
Thank you.
Yay! Woo!
So we have it.
And we're back! Thanks so much for bearing with us. Last we left off, you were finishing up your short rest, so you're able to do that. Uldan is finishing his cursory research of the depictions along the walls, and yeah, I guess the rest is up to you. So you guys have hit points. Did you all roll your hit dice?
Yeah.
Perfect.
This is a secret chamber.
Yes.
Is there any exits other than the stairs that we came down?
Not that you can see so far.
Okay, I'm gonna do a little
Sounds good.
I cannot help.
27.
Jesus.
27. There doesn't appear to be any other rooms or entrances or exits. No traps, no nothing, and you are confident of it.
Okay. This is just a room.
All right.
It appears, I will say with an investigation check like that, this room has been stripped long ago. It used to be would be assumed as a very secretive
This
sanctum.
is a vault of some kind.
All right.
It no longer is.
Is what you're saying?
It's a room.
There's no way out other than in.
Well, we have the whole ruins to ourselves for about 2 days, so might as well
And
get comfortable.
whoever stays up for watch can guard this one entrance.
Did we,
Very
get a,
true.
did we get a
I
long
could
rest
simply put a dome
when we were sleeping?
I would say no.
It would be just.
We
but
can
I have
sleep
to
in the
be
bubble.
within the dome.
We can sleep in the bubble.
We can sleep on the stairs.
Why don't we'll just go
I'll
out
let you
in the
do that.
courtyard.
Dax. If you want to sleep on the stairs, I'm certainly.
Well,
prepared
I
to
can't
stop
make
you.
the bubble myself.
True.
I'd like to sleep in the bubble if the bubble's being made.
I don't think I'd fit on the stairs.
I would much rather go sleep out the courtyard.
I
Neophil.
also would prefer to sleep in a place where there's not one. See, the issue with having only one way in is that there's also only one way out.
Well, don't you have
Totally.
like
Totally.
I
the
think you just said the
special
same thing twice.
transition?
I did.
Can't you just like transport us if we're in danger?
Well, this is
Not all
riveting.
of you.
Where are you gonna sleep?
Well, this is all riveting conversation. I think that if we're going to sleep, are we going to do so now? If not, I would like to explore the
I
ruins.
think we should explore first.
Ah.
We'll leave our
It's
threats.
already like nighttime, and I think
Yeah, you
maybe
look pretty
getting a good
tired.
start at it in the morning might be
Yeah.
better.
You're fine. His
I feel
eyes are
like-
just slowly closing.
We don't have any
I feel
natural
like if we
light
can-
going into any of the rooms.
If we can at least let the elves rest, you guys can get 4 hours in and be back up, and then the rest of us can.
That's true.
True.
Let's not split up. This
I'm
is
not
a,
saying split up. I'm
this
just
is
saying
spooky castle, and
Yes,
I don't know
it's-
what's left.
a little bit less frightening.
Would we like to dome underneath the stars? Nothing can still nothing can get in.
Dome
from
in the
outside.
stars. All right, dome in the stars. Anyone else for dome in the stars?
We can all
don't give
fit
a
in the
shit.
dome.
You'd
with
rather
our
sleep
extra
outside, right?
Up to
companions.
10
Well-
creatures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well done. You ever domed before?
I have. I mean, I have greater magic if you want something other than a minuscule dome.
Right.
Oh, no,
Why
I
can't you
want
do
the
that?
Because
Well,
I'm not the high enough level yet.
I don't know what
I
that
think
means.
you are actually.
Yeah, I really
am
would
not
like to
rested,
dome.
and as
I
such,
would like the higher level magic, the better safety.
Why do we need
So
magic
you
at
guys
all?
are gonna bunk together tonight?
Ah, this chatter.
I don't know. I wouldn't be
care
that
not for
worried.
it. He begins to sort of trace out along the room, and you see as his hands flick into various gestures, trace arcanic threads are bound to this place, and he's going to cast Private Sanctum on the room that you guys are in.
Does that create a new space, or does it?
no.
It does
protects
not.
the place
It
that you're
uses
in.
the
Okay.
existing room. However, it keeps it protected from a whole slew of a bunch of different stuff. It's like Liam's tiny hut, but bigger and better and for a room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you have to have a room to establish it.
Exactly.
But it protects the entire room just the same way.
Dax is gonna make a little bed near the entrance, near the stairs.
Like a nest, starts patting in it like a cat.
Nuanen's gonna pull out her axe and sit down and sort of just be staring at the spot where it started to crack. And just
Oh,
staring
off the
at it,
sword.
fussing over
Is
it.
it cracked or was that just dream stuff?
Oh, good point. That's her.
Looking down at your blade,
Or
although it
actually
is-
over.
although it is magically imbued at this point, you do see the sliver of a hairline crack.
Is there something wrong with your axe?
I just hold it. I hold it up and show it to you. And Nuanen looks really sad.
You want me to take a look at it?
Yes.
Let's
Okay.
take a
Do you think
peek.
Daxlaxl could fix it?
I think we could
I
definitely
think
help.
that's a good choice. I don't have mending, so.
Ugh, that thing.
Honestly, mending would be great.
I sit down like right next to you and just like stare.
Dax has mending.
I could try to mend it.
Oh, that'd be great.
Could you?
Mine takes a lot longer than a minute, so
But it's a magical weapon.
I think
how this
mending works.
Oh, right. It doesn't restore magic if magic is lost.
Right, but it can still fix the.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try. So I'll take the.
And give it a try, you do.
I'll take the axe, and as I run my fingers across it, it's just very delicate, and there's like a trembling in the wonderment of the craft of the weapon. And as I run my hands, I attempt to mend the crack.
Tracing your finger along the crack, there's this near fine point of heat that emits from your finger, and as you trace along the crack, you're able to weld it with your hand. Casting mending, there's just a very small little divot where the metal had to recuperate itself, but it's fully mended, still sharp, useful.
Thanks. She grabs it and checks it over, not quite believing.
That would have taken me a lot longer. Well,
From his pack, Holdon is going to start grabbing a bedroll,
Betty
rolling it
buys
out.
stuff.
Tea? Anyone?
Ooh, I'll take tea.
I'm gonna go outside for a bit. The castle's kind of stuffy.
Leaving the staircase, are you going just up to the first floor?
Right, because I'm assuming it's just up the staircase, so just right out the door. That's the courtyard, right?
As you break the surface and into the grand foyer, you see at your feet, well, drifting in through the doorway, is this rather humble brownish box with a gilded latch on it. It's brought over, dropped in a puff of smoke in a puff of air at your feet with a clatter, and springs open, and you see at its front there is a letter.
I attack it.
You're not there.
Oh, here.
I'm
There's a letter on top, and then there are a few pieces of items and various things in the contents. Some most notably is a bottle of wine, a small parcel of baked goods, as well as a few other things.
okay. Well, I'm gonna attempt not to scream because I was expecting to see some ghosts in this place.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna check the letter first before digging through the rest of the stuff.
Okay.
Is it trapped? Is the letter trapped?
I don't want to roll the sleep. Really, should have kind of played around there.
Rip it up, man.
Just kidding, I believe in you. Perfect.
There's another little tiny letter in there. That's so cute.
So cute.
It's got a little mushrooms on it. For your travels, we wanted to. Sorry, the marker led a little. So yeah, we wanted to be sure y'all were able to have a place, a piece of. Is that of?
It's canon.
I'm assuming piece of home.
Trying to read it alone upstairs.
Yeah, you do.
Y'all
Can I
were
try to read it?
able to have a piece of home with you.
That's
we will
great.
be keeping
I was like,
an
does that
eye
mean
out.
yes?
Stay safe.
Oh, it's
Within
Belinda.
reason from Belinda and Zook.
Yeah, definitely. Knew that was coming.
Oh, Belinda.
With the bottle of wine, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
All right, time to check out the team.
That one's for you.
Are you still outside?
I'm
Doing this?
kind of.
This happens
I'm, like, in the
essentially like
entry.
over the mosaic.
Yes.
So I'm just upstairs. I love you more than you know. Keep me with you, Mom and Dad.
Inside the envelope, a silvered pendant that you're very used to is encased. It is your mother's necklace.
Mom, this is yours.
Upon closer inspection, it does have a slight enchantment to it.
I'm going to put it on.
It is an amulet of non-detection.
Okay.
Sneaky boy.
Very nice.
All right. I'm just going to.
The contents of the box, there are a few books. There are 3 in particular. One is The Darkness of the Faedark. It's a novel that's bound in sort of a velvety black material. Another one appears to be a rather humble diary, and it is bound to a scroll that's on top. It appears to be a journal that Belinda will have written herself. Its front face is leather and has these sort of like floral motif that's embossed into the leather. The third one is a
So there's wine, a diary.
Baked goods.
yes, and then the third one is a it's essentially like a book that is written in Elvish. I don't know if you read Elvish. Okay, yeah, so you'd have to, but green, has swirling script across the top.
I'm going to attempt. I'm going to open the diary and see if there is anything immediately recognizable.
Yeah, it is filled. It's almost like a recipe book. There's small sort of note cards, and they kind of fall out in order. But as you look at them, each one of them has an arcane circle on it and a location.
Sorry, what? I missed that.
We may have just gotten a book that can take us anywhere in the world.
Huh?
The opposite of it. We're not here.
The first page
I'm gonna
does.
carefully put it all back together.
The first page has a similar little note on it that drops out as well. That
I'm gonna
says,
try to keep it. I'm gonna try to catch it.
"Yeah," and it says, "So you'll always find home," from Belinda.
Okay, so I'm guessing the first one is to succumber. Okay.
We just hear loud weeping from the upper room.
Yeah, what is Peter doing?
Yeah,
right
can
now?
I get a perception
how's
check?
Peter doing?
We're just like drinking.
I'm trying to
tea.
be quiet.
Yes.
Can I?
I'm like attuning to the live.
I don't want anybody else to get involved in this moment at the moment because I'm probably emotional. I will check the Elvish
Loud
book
sleeping.
Nuanen.
and I'm just gonna see if maybe there's a name or something that I do recognize.
Can you read Elvish?
I can't, but I might be able to recognize a name or something.
Your own mom.
In Elvish?
Me?
Roll an intelligence check.
Okay. Ooh.
I know you've seen it written. Why would I say it like that? Never mind.
19.
I now know what her first
19?
Hey.
Yeah, I will say, since you can't understand the language, there's not a lot that you can glean from the words. However, there are a few pictures in it. There's one that's sort of like a folktale rendition of 2 elves in the forest. They appear to be communicating in some way. Again, you can't really read it. This appears to be like a book of folktales.
Okay. I make note of elves in the forest. And I immediately know what I'm going to do with the book. So I'm going to gather all the things. And instead of going outside...
As you lift them all from the box disappears.
Okay. Magic box. What did the box look like?
It was a simple wooden box with a silver clasp.
Okay. Nothing fancy. Alright.
Iron clasp.
I don't know, it floated here itself.
Yeah, it did do that.
I will remind you, with the book of small like note cards, there was a parchment wrapped cylinder.
Yeah, a parchment wrapped cylinder.
Mhm.
That's not the wine.
No, the wine is separate.
I am going to unwrap the parchment wrapped cylinder.
It does have a case. There's a sort of wooden scrolled case. There are sort of these engraved
What is it,
lattices, and inside you see a rolled up piece of
What
vellum.
is it, Peter?
A rolled up piece of
Vellum.
Oh, I thought you said
Vellum.
I'm gonna open it.
You're not gonna bring it here with you?
It is a scroll of teleportation circle.
I'm gonna roll it back up, put it back in the jar, and well, I guess, yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs.
There are also, although I don't necessarily know if you need to, there's the wine, and there is a small selection of assorted handmade cookies.
Okay.
Can I ask,
So,
were they gnomish made cookies so they're like really petite?
They're varying in size.
Honestly, I would assume that Belinda made that.
Yeah,
Is
Belinda's
she
a gnome.
gnomish?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's a gnome,
I
but
know
also
nothing.
like she can make things that are larger than
I
a
know, I
small
just,
thing.
But if it's a
She has-
gnomish,
she has
if
to
it's
cut out
a
her rolling
gnomish
pin.
recipe,
She has two sizes.
she does in fact know we are not gnomes.
Yeah,
She does.
she's a little more like she has a lot of cultural influences.
Cute.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I openly carried the stuff downstairs, and I announced that we have received a care package from Belinda and my mother.
Okay.
What is a care package?
It's a grouping of things that are just nice to have.
How? Oh. Well, we
What
already have
is-
care packages.
Well, the idea of a care package is that someone gives it to you to get prepared for
Did
something.
you run into them upstairs?
They arrived in a box that disappeared after I emptied the box out.
So you didn't see that it was from your mother and
No, there's a
or-
letter.
Let me see.
Can I see that?
This
please?
one's mine.
Oh.
You can see the other one,
Okay.
sure.
I squint at it with the most
Just gonna
suspicion
insight real
in the
quick.
entire world. This is from the hat.
That sucks. That's an 11. I've seen Belinda's handwriting a lot. So.
You have. It
Oh,
is.
that was almost a natural.
It is
20.
both hers and someone else's, which you could assume it with an 11 that it's probably someone else close to her.
I squint at it with a 22. Is it Solora?
No, it's signed Belinda and
And
Zoe.
Oh, this is from Belinda and Zook.
Zook and Belinda.
Obviously.
Well,
Isn't that what he said?
the first
Yeah, but now I
part
know.
of the care package, and I hand you the jar and the diary.
Okay.
And I think I saw
Jar?
a picture of some
What's
elves.
What's in the jar?
Just open it. It'll be
It's
great.
the scroll.
Oh.
Oh, you were
jar.
asking
Oh, it's a swirl.
above table. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what? There's a jar? I didn't
It's
hear it.
got a. It's like
Okay.
a
It's
It's a
a jelly in it.
It's a
Yeah.
tube.
It's delicious
Jam.
strawberry jam.
Delicious.
But I'm gonna hand you the elves.
There is a small
I
component
can't
of
read
jam.
this, but there was a picture of elves in the woods, and I thought, here you go.
Oh, okay.
This is a children's storybook, specifically meant to teach children about the rise and fall of High Netheril.
Ah. So I'm familiar with the stories. Or no?
Just you kind of read the base first like page or so. This book is very old, and is written for children of the High Kingdom.
Well, thanks.
I'm gonna kind of settle down with the tea and probably spread out my bedroll and a little ways away from the fire and start reading through Belinda's
fire?
diary.
Okay.
Or whatever.
It's not a diary. It's just like why I said diary. It's essentially like a book, like a leather-bound book. But when you open it, the spine is loose, like all the pages are loose,
Oh.
and they're just note cards with teleportation circles on them.
Oh.
And there's about like
Okay.
10 of them,
So it's a
and the
recipe
rest of them are
of
able to be
teleportation
filled in.
circles.
So these are. And as you flip
Okay.
through them, you see one is to Succumber, one is to gosh, what is it called? Huh?
I
No, Silvery Moon, Waterdeep, Neverwinter, Baldur's Gate. There's a few small towns in there like Tribor, VonVail. stuff like that.
Okay, can you send me a list of everything?
I will, yeah.
Thank you. And then I'll spend some time copying Loudwater into it.
Ooh,
As
before, do you know Gnomish?
No.
Some of them are written in Gnomish. The ones that are not are common. So like, there's only about 3 that you can't read.
Could we assume that those are gnomish sayings?
Stretch the imagination.
Do any of us speak English?
I speak half.
Well, you can speak anything, can't you? If
You
I'm
can
asleep.
read anything, can you?
You're asleep?
I'm asleep.
He's
Next
got
to the stairs.
He's got last-
so dumb.
That's true. Each of us you could work with me and we could translate and copy them over into common.
Once I wake
Once
up.
you're awake.
I was sitting next to you. It's been so quiet.
Also,
Fully having a conversation with that.
That's so funny.
Does anybody want any of these cookies? They came with cookies too. It's a box.
Cookies?
Yeah. You want cookies?
Aren't they for you?
They're for us.
You see that the letter was addressed to
I
the
think
damaged
the little
goods.
ones
Yes.
for you.
Sure, I'll take a cookie.
I really want a cookie.
Yeah,
Hold on,
poison!
want a
No.
cookie?
But
There's enough cookies for all of us, including Uldan.
Yeah, for sure.
And I will use 5.
It's a surplus. It's about 20 to 30.
It is half
Take it out
price.
of goblin. No.
2 dozen cookies.
I'll be gobbling those cookies.
And I will spend.
Boo.
So who's all having a cookie?
I'm having a cookie.
5th level spell.
We don't have to roll
I
for
need
this.
to do 250
Cookie
to
inventory
copy.
what does
it
the
to my
cookie
spell
taste
book.
like to you?
Yes. Is it a warm
Does it
peanut butter?
taste like warm and home?
Is it a sugar cookie?
Yeah.
We could grab
To
those
everybody,
cookies,
whatever
you
that
guys wanna
means.
eat.
There's a variety, so you can kind of take your pick.
Yeah. That's what I think that's
They're all homemade.
I'm going to copy
Any of them have
teleportation
lavender?
circle.
There's
into
an oatmeal raisin. There's a lavender lemon.
I don't
There's
want either.
a little
I
melting
want
moment.
You want to just stuff
Some
the
choco
cookie into
chip.
Dax's sleeping mouth.
Yeah. And it
Ew,
was
Dax.
for later. And then you realize he's asleep. So
I mean, fantasy names.
Oh, are you sleeping?
I just like lightly. Shit.
Once things start to calm down, I'm gonna uncork the bottle of wine they sent me and pour myself a glass.
Sounds good. As we're winding down, is there any conversations that you guys would like to have before the long rest ensues and the subsequent 2 days of rest take place?
I think I'll put out like a lap desk and then taken off my traveling cloak and then put my hair up and started copying the spell scroll. It's going to take me 5 hours. Well, it's going to take me 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's not gonna take. You could do that for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you want to go somewhere? How did I do that? Okay.
Allie?
Yeah.
Alley cat?
I'm going to not so humbly at some point kind of brag about damage that I had done during the battle to the wolf dude.
Yeah.
just to try and impress you. I just mean I do some damage once in a while.
Pretty cool.
Good job. Thank
Really,
you.
really smack that wolf with those spinning knife things.
They're really useful.
Yeah.
You know, now that you've proven that you can be useful, why didn't you do those things before?
I
Like when we
couldn't.
were on Mintar?
It was a very good move. I recall shortly afterwards, you sort of had fear in your eyes and I had to save you, but very good.
Did anyone see me fall to the ground? I
Yes.
did because I blacked out for a little bit, and then the vision came back slower in my right eye than my left eye. So that was a little wild.
Oh, that's a concussion.
Yeah,
Sorry, what?
nobody was there to catch you. I'm sorry.
What? No,
I
no,
tried,
it's so
but-
fine. Honestly,
Are you?
it's back now.
Okay, hang on. I just pull out a little.
No,
like,
no,
I
no.
use a little light cantrip.
Yeah,
just
it's good. It's good. Have it all.
She's just like a little cross-eyed.
I've had so many
a little
concussions.
concussed.
You guys want to hear about my first concussion? I know, it did in depth.
Oh,
Great. Perfect. Enough stories to fill 2 whole days. I will say any explorative endeavors that you want to take, We can kind of like brush past it. I will describe if you want to go about it, trudging beneath Dragonspear and getting to the portal room if you'd like to. But it's really up to you guys. So, is there
Whatever we gotta
anything you
do
guys have?
to finish prepping the castle for the arrival of the rest of the group. I mean,
Yeah, I will say. Go ahead.
Just for role playing flavor. Since I went to bed first, I assume I'm the first one up.
Yeah.
So before everybody gets up and we start exploring the castle, I'm just gonna get up, make my way out to the front, like just outside the door, and I'm going to sit cross-legged in the grass or the dirt former path thing that's there. And I'm just gonna breathe and meditate
Okay.
until I start hearing stirrings, and then I will return to the room.
You know, not to ruin your moment, but both the elves probably will.
Sure.
The break of day crests over the opening from the war-torn battlements of this castle, and you're able to see the sun stream through the opening that you had a rather conflicted experience with just before. You feel the grasses as you breathe in and out, ebb and flow towards you and away, and everything is at peace. Until no.
Another beholder comes to take the place of the elves.
So, itinerary. You guys have 2 days. Is there anything you want to accomplish before those 2 days is done?
Is there free time?
I will
Or
say
is it
yes.
2 days
You guys
free
have
time?
about.
Yeah, but like,
you have
we
free
have
time.
to clear the castle. Do we have extra time after that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it doesn't take too long, and with Olden's help and your guys' relative levels, there's only a few creatures that are. Yeah, there's like some basic small denizens of the Underdark that you have to clear, but other than that, it's nothing too extreme. Yes.
Can I try to stroke is the only word I can think of. Stroke Oldon's ego. Stroke is what? Ego. Ego.
He calls it what?
And ask him about what he found in the room and kind of just like ooh and ah over what he knows.
In which room? The sanctum?
The one, yeah, the sanctum that we were in.
Oh, yeah, of course. Roll persuasion check. With advantage. He's very egotistical.
I figured. My second one was a nat 20 plus what, a persuasion. You said
Mm-hmm.
He falls in love with you.
as he should. So 26.
He says, to be honest, these depictions are small pittance compared to this tome. He hands you a book. It's a historical treatise about Dragonspear's first 100 years of creation. Although, if you were to follow me to the portal room, I could show you some things that delight me a little more severely than the histories of an old
Go
castle.
on, creepy Pete. Go on, creepy Pete.
Did you say delight
do
me
think-
severely?
Would you like to see the withered corpse of a devil held to this plane by the sheer magic of a broken sword?
Of course I would.
Follow me.
We do any of it. No,
No,
it's
it's
great.
fine.
Honestly,
She can do-
it's
Do
fine.
you,
I'll
Olivia,
say-
do you.
For the period of this, you and him go down to clear the castle. Or the beneath. It's not much. It's like small. And he has a map to get you there. But in breaking away underneath, there is a maze-like labyrinth that can branch off deeper and deeper into the Underdark. He is deft, he has a map, and he's able to guide you over this dwarven bridge that is sort of overlooking a subterranean river that carves its way underground to some well-like ocean in the beyond. But beyond that, he takes you into a small alcove where there's like a blasted side of the wall by some creatures. And by this point, you've seen a number of skeletons of like devils around. Entering into the space, though, it is dark, and as he throws out globules of light, you see this It's a circle that's made of an infernal iron, and I don't know if you've ever encountered this in your experience as Alythia, but it's blackened and there is a piece missing at the top. He says, "This is where we will open the rift, and this," and he sort of pulls back a crumbling edifice to the side, and you see this huge skeleton that scales up the wall about 10-15 feet with this blackened sword, this long sword protruding from its skeletal chest, is the remains of the great devil Azaka.
When you say remains, you said something about binding. Is it actually dead, or is it just held in that state by that sword?
Very astute. It is held. Devils, I don't know if you're privy.
I don't have a lot of devil knowledge.
When killed or felled on this plane, they usually end up back in the hells where they can regenerate and come back. This beastie, and he sort of kicks the leg, is held here by the power of an artifact. Yandriel, the sword itself, and he sort of like flicks the top of the sword, which is broken off at the hilt.
Is it a normal?
Its silvered blade is untarnished by time, and it stands in stark contrast to the being, and it is driven through its body and into the stone wall behind.
Is it like a normal human-sized sword, or is it like large?
It's like a great
you said
sword.
It's like a 10.
It's a great sword.
Okay, so it's a
the
big-
devil's body is 15 feet.
Right, that's what I. Sorry, yes, I was trying to proportion the size of the sword through.
Yes.
Versus.
It's a great sword.
Okay, so it is a great sword. So it's two-handed. Okay. And you said it's broken off before the hilt.
It's essentially it's only the blade. The
So just
last part of the blade and the hilt are broken off.
Have you been able to find the hilt at all?
That's the whole reason we're here, darling.
To find the hilt.
No, we commissioned the hilt, which was recovered after the second incursion of Dragonspear and held in Waterdeep for quite some time. The only reason our expedition party was approved is with the remains of Yandriel. Essentially, there is a temple to Tyr. You saw it when you came in, that crumbling mess before the castle. At its stone pillar, if you drive the hilt in, it casts a radiant protection over this entire space and drives out anything like a portal to the hells that could be opened, thus ceasing it. It's our way of making sure that the beasties don't end up inhabiting Dragonspear once more.
So you don't want to go through the portal?
Oh, I'm going through. Our team is opening up the portal long enough for us to pass through, do our expedition, and then return on our own accord.
What do you hope to find on your expedition?
What treasures lie in the burning beneath this plane? The hells are a vast series of wastelands with histories unknown to our people. Doesn't it spark your interest?
As much as any history does.
For me, in particular, I hope to recover some tomes that I was researching within the Gardens of Flesh and the city of Dis, the second layer.
You lost tomes in hell?
Oh, no. They're lost, and I hope to recover them. I didn't lose them. Unfortunate souls who found themselves in the second layer lost them.
Oh.
You understand this is how Candlekeep gets its knowledge, right?
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't know for sure. I just... Knowing for sure makes it a little more uncomfortable, I guess.
Your group seems hellbent to follow us to the ends of the earth. Are you coming with?
I am to follow them.
Roll a deception or persuasion check, or yeah, deception or persuasion check. He's trying to insight that for essentially to see if there's other intentions behind following them.
Mm-hmm.
She got that luck going to LA.
He didn't roll very well with an 8.
I'm sorry. You said it. What did you
Deception or persuasion to either conceal or drive him off.
14.
Okay, sounds good. You're a tight-knit group. I know that we won't be able to pay you if you come with us. However, the extra protection, keep us alive if you're willing to come with.
I have a funny feeling they do like keeping people alive.
That Asimar girl,
Mm.
after her twin,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't strike me as the sort to keep to his word.
Doesn't he?
Why are you so hell-bent on finding him?
You'd have to ask his sister.
Well, I don't really care to talk about her. I'm here with you. So, if you'd like, and he pulls out from his bag a small bottle, we shall have a little food and drink then, maybe.
He is smooth.
Yeah, smooth as sandpaper.
I do enjoy an indulgence.
Well, he pours you a glass. By all means, imbibe. And he's gonna just...
I was like, can I like smell it just to like
Yeah, for sure.
just because I'm a little sketched.
It reeks of black licorice, and it is, he pours you sort of like a small thing over a cube of sugar. It is absinthe.
Perfect.
He likes absinthe.
I'm definitely gonna drink it. No problem.
He's a goth, y'all.
I love it. I love it. That's
Perfect. Yeah, fade to
then we're
black.
gonna enjoy our time.
Sounds good.
There we are. The end.
So while date night's going on, so whenever Dax isn't needed for like an activity by other people, he's just gonna be running up and down stairs and carrying rocks, like rubble, hunks of rubble with him as well. Really trying to get in a hard leg day.
Wow.
Sounds good. And you do so. Could you roll me an athletics check?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, just an athletics check.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Juicy leg day.
Yeah. Where's that one? Oh, that's a -1. 15.
Okay. Them gains. You know, it hurts the next day. Day 2 is a day of rest for sure.
I give you a bigger rock that day.
But I'll say training goes well.
Lots of stretching.
Yeah, it was mainly to see if it ends poorly.
Right.
Was kind of what I was doing. So.
Somewhere in there, I will approach Nuanen and say, "Did you want to see if we can center yourself, calm the mind?"
Yeah, I suppose if there's time.
You seem to have plenty of it.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's try something different today, shall we? And Dax is gonna train you in a whole new way. We're gonna run around the castle.
Okay.
And he's gonna, while you do it, he's gonna
Gotta go
talk
up and down over stones.
Yes, and he's gonna talk you through breathing exercises as you do it, with the intent being the rhythm and the strain of the run to get you into a meditative state.
At one point when we're doing that, I'm gonna ask as we're jogging, Dax, can I ask you something? Do you think I'm stupid?
No.
Oh, okay.
The real question is Dax stupid?
It's like
No.
man, in between.
Why do you ask?
Well, just because I don't know. I guess you know Alythia thinks I'm stupid, and Una thought I was stupid, and the Blue Dragon thought I was stupid, and a lot of people in my tribe thought I was stupid, and a lot of people that I meet, after people say things a lot, you start to sort of wonder if they're right.
Some people have a hard time seeing the gifts of others. Particularly for Alythia, I wouldn't take anything she says too seriously. She's a little preoccupied with how she feels about herself.
Calling out a bully.
Somewhere Alythia sees it.
Somewhere Alythia says, I feel bad about
Oh my
it."
god!
That is spicy!
Wow, that cuts to the quick, huh?
That's what I get for my passive insight. 18. I know you. I've seen your soul. Sorry.
Dang.
I've seen who you call friends.
So I have friends.
I think while they're doing that,
I'll get you a second.
oh yeah, you can go. first. I
you
think-
started talking, you're good.
Girls.
I mean, you put down your side,
They're fighting.
but I basically
Roll for it right now, rollies right now. Roll it off.
I
Roll it off.
Rollies.
We're doing it.
I got a 5. You can beat
Okay.
that.
Come on, Rollies.
2.
Come
Oh my god.
This is the most
All right.
You can't just put it on one.
I'll make it quick.
I'm still
So
having it no.
I take downtime during the day after we get done clearing, probably halfway through the first day or whatever.
And we can also do any downtime after the game too, so just keep that in mind.
I'm going to go and gargoyle perch on one of the higher points on the building.
Okay.
Oh my god, so good.
And I kind of just like sit down, and I'm like sitting up there like I'm Spider-Man, or just kind of like not even afraid of heights at all.
So, more like Peter Parker.
Yeah, like a Peter Parker.
I'm imagining these are your wings.
Yeah.
Just like slightly open, just like big enough like a gargoyle. Like
I'm kind of keeping an eye out. I spent some time, doing an aerial view of the place, seeing if there's anything interesting, and then after I probably don't find much other than rubble, I just kind of sit up there and I watch the horizon and see if anything interesting happens, and I kind of just play around with some of the tinctures that I have in my bag, mixing
Okay.
some stuff.
I'll get to you after a bit.
Okay. I'd like to, especially at night, if there's nothing that I'm doing to help or anything like that, I would like to continue working on.
It's one
a
night
spell.
technically, because day and then night and then
yes. But
day.
I would like to spend some time, especially towards evening or the darker hours, so that I can see them better. I would like to continue working on my new spell. And just
What is this?
So we started working on this a while ago.
Mhm.
It's basically like I'm trying to.
We'll talk
pull-
about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull flowers and the things from. The
Yes, yes.
Feywild.
Not full flowers.
Yes, pulling flowers from the Grudj.
Oh shit, I did it all the time.
The spell is
But
called
basically, I just want to see, because I'm trying to create something that creates a number of effects.
Yeah, we can log those hours for sure, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else?
Just checking in with folks, making sure everyone's okay,
Okay.
basically.
Are you all okay?
of course.
I'll say just because you're
I
looking
think
for it.
I'm just looking for just like, how are you feeling? It's been a weird few days.
Dax is better than you've seen him since he came here to the material plane. He is like calm, and like when you were in Mintarn, there was like a frantic aggressiveness about him, and that's not there now.
Okay.
And neither is like the lethargic, like staying in the back thing. He's very present, but very centered. And so he's able to like stay engaged, but also not to that manic aggression that he had when he first started learning his martial prowess.
Awesome. I think that conversation happens with us smoking, like on a broken wall, just kind of looking out over the scenery, just chatting very small
Thank you for
cafeteria.
sharing the soup.
Of course. Alythia, how you doing?
I mean, as good as anyone who has been jetted into a dream world and then back into reality, waiting for someone's psychotic brother to try and go to hell.
He's not psychotic. He's just troublesome.
You're not there.
She might
Room,
be.
I have a perception of
I mean, she
that.
might
I'm
be.
nearby,
You just hear
baby.
it shouted across
I'm
the
nearby.
I'm not trying to hide it.
I hate it. You got it.
I just wanted to make sure because it's been weird and I don't know. I don't feel like we've had good time to hang out. And the last time we hung out, I was woefully drunk.
It's true.
So
It was a good time, though.
that was entertaining for sure.
How are you?
I don't-
Being jettisoned.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm used to chasing things, and lately it's felt like I'm mostly just trying to play catch up, which has been unique.
Catch up.
I'm used to staying ahead, and I feel like I can't lately. And it's
Ahead of what? What are you trying to be
I
ahead
don't
of?
know. I just everything that we've been trying to do, it's like we can't. We are missing things, and
Are you
I'm not
thinking
used
about
to
that
it.
island?
yeah, of course.
Here's the thing. Everything happens for a reason. We came here to do whatever we had to do to try and protect our family, right?
And this time, well, we didn't protect an entire family, but we protected part of them, I suppose. It could have been that the researchers would have ended them entirely.
Death is a part of life, isn't it?
Just hoping to stay out of it. But anyway, yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing okay. I saw you go off with old dad
Oh,
for a bit. How was that?
The absinthe was really good.
The what? What's absent?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It was a drink.
All right. Sure. All right.
Good. Here's the thing. I know more about this place than I ever thought I would. There's a hilt holding a demon down by the portal. The portal's not complete, and there's a hilt. No, there's a sword holding the demon, and then there's the hilt that could. I'm sorry. Are you
Clarification. You did learn in Candlekeep that they're bringing the cornerstone of the portal
Right, okay,
towards
okay,
it.
okay.
So just
So they're bringing a cornerstone to complete the portal, so that they can
so they're
So they can
there's
temporarily
they're
open.
opening the portal and then they're going to use the hilt to close the portal.
They're gonna use the
After
hilt
they
to
pass
close
through.
it. Right. Okay. So the
Interesting.
whole
For
plan
permanence, right?
So
after they come back, right?
No. They're coming back of their own accord. That's what he said.
Okay. So they're gonna open the portal. They're gonna go through, and then they're gonna find their own way back using the hilt to kind of destroy the portal and protect everything in this area
well,
from.
that's noble, but I worry about opening a portal to hell with a sealed demon next to it,
Yeah.
where the hell energy can potentially pour forth through the. Interesting.
Can it? Clearly, hell portals are beyond my scope of reality.
Not for much longer.
I'd prefer if it stayed that way, but I guess some things
Well.
can't be helped.
In the end, we don't know if we're going to stay or if we're going to leave after meeting this Vander.
Do you know anything about him?
Only what Alice told us.
Does she ever tell anyone more than the base information?
Valenccya. What are you doing?
Probably overhearing all of this with like balancing a dagger, like somewhere hidden in the shadows.
I haven't gotten to you.
No one's asked me how I'm doing yet.
Want a drink?
I'm sulking in the dark. So.
Well, I'm gonna like raise my teacup and be like,
To an uncertain future, and hopefully we will live through it.
Clink.
I'm going to try and find where Peter is perched, and I'm going to jump up there as well.
It's probably pretty far.
I have to mention for it.
Oh yeah,
So
that might be enough.
That might
Just
be.
looking,
isn't it like 400 feet?
For entertainment's sake, please roll a dex save.
Just to make sure you
He's
can
on like
slowly-
cobblestone and stuff,
not a
teleporting
very
up there. I just want to see.
good
I just want to see what happens. I just roll it. Dex
Dex
save.
save.
stuff.
It
Thank
It
you
might
so
be
much.
fun. It might be
Just
fun.
roll
It's
it.
fun right
It's okay,
now.
I'll catch you. Maybe.
There's a lot of rubble. I'm just saying.
19.
Perfect.
So all of a sudden I just...
Oh,
Peter? Yeah, we all hear a scream.
A bunch of perched birds fly away.
why did you say?
Hi, buddy.
You could have yelled or something.
This is more fun.
I've been
You see,
alone
like,
for
Val
several
run out.
hours, and you just appear. So
Yeah, most people don't moodily perch if they want to be talked to, so I figured surprise was probably the best way around it.
I'm keeping an eye out for someone.
For someone.
Well, I like to refer to it as someone, but it's more like a thing.
Oh, the goddamn cauldron.
Yeah, it followed me last time.
Peter,
Above table, above
It's
table.
Vander,
How
I know.
fucking far are we?
Huh?
4 days?
So from Candlekeep to Dragonspear Castle is a good ways, because it's essentially about 20 to 30 miles southeast of Daggerford.
Wouldn't have to spend time swimming too? Like
No, it's across land.
I thought Candlekeep was not. Oh no, it's a peninsula.
No, it's a
Never mind.
peninsula. Yep.
Yep, you're right. Okay, sorry. Continue.
However, it does not need to sleep, and the expedition team took about, I would say, from what you heard, about a 10-day of travel to get here. But they're also on a leisurely tour of the countryside. They're historians,
Yeah.
like they're
Their
trying.
They need
Peter,
their history sleep.
Yeah, they're like meeting various places. It's like a
Okay.
like an
So here's my next question. If we don't go to hell, are we going to sit and wait for the cauldron, or are we just going to continue on?
Peter,
and
make a
hope it
perception
catches
check,
us?
I have a strong feeling that it is going to make it here much faster than you expect, because it does not follow roads and it doesn't sleep.
Peter, make a perception check.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Oh no. 5.
Can't see it yet.
But what if it was a 10?
Can't see it yet.
Okay.
What if
I'm
gonna play that way out.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I was like, wait a second.
What if what I
How do you know
rolled
that I
wasn't
didn't?
what
I didn't.
rolled?
I didn't adjust anything.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I mean, Pete, it is going to take.
Also,
Best case scenario, I think it gets to us in 4 days.
I am a little.
If it takes half the fucking time.
The thing is,
Yes.
I'm not necessarily worried about it getting here, but the cauldron is like on fire,
Actively on fire.
and
because
it's
of the
running.
slug that
It's
you
running
collected,
through
yeah.
the woods and stuff. So I'm just trying to keep an eye out for like countryside burning as well.
Are there magical firefighters?
No, there are not.
There's
Okay,
rain.
but create water is a spell.
We'll get to that when we need to.
Okay.
And
They're
control
called
weapons and
druids.
stuff too.
We'll get to that when we need to.
That
Fire's
being
on the
said,
horizon.
Water
I'm just-
druids.
I'm hanging out up here just
How you
because.
doing, my friend?
Um,
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
yeah, I'm doing okay.
Did Solara send you a letter?
Well, yeah, it was just a little cute letter, but So this whole adventuring thing is kind of messed up, you know.
I mean,
I try not to think about it much.
Like I just real quick like pull up the back of my coat and show him the scar along my spine.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah, that's a nasty one too. I know. I got the huge,
Oh yeah, shit.
the
Really? Oh,
lightning
that's right.
one.
You got the lightning one. That one.
It's going up my neck.
It looks sick though here. It really does.
That's the thing.
Does
It's
it
like
look sicker than the eyes, or I can't get past it. I can't.
The eyes.
I
Yeah,
got
he's
the
got
tattoo.
eyes tattooed all over his wings.
Oh, that's right.
Well, actually, it branches out from my back a little onto my. It's not like full wing.
It's like a back piece that sort of like, it's like, you know, in tramp stamps, so they're kind of like an upside down like triangle.
Yeah,
It's like that, but across like the beginning of his wing.
Just writes down tramp stamp.
So you
like
can-
at the top of his shoulders or down by like where a tramp
Where the
stamp
wings are. I
No,
think
no,
your
it's
wings are kind of.
Lower back tattoo.
Your wings are like in the middle of your back, aren't
Oh,
they?
do they start in the middle of your back? Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
His
the
don't
thing
start
is
high.
my wings, they start kind of low, but they're like arms before it actually branches out into the bat wing part. So they kind of like lift themselves up with arms, and then it kind of.
Right. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, you know, growing up, you know, my mom always told me to like be nice to people, expect people to be nice back, whatever. But she always told me that people probably wouldn't always be nice. And I don't know. I just think about that sometimes because I've like full blown like murdered people now, and that kind of weighs on me a little bit. And I don't know how everyone else feels about it because they would probably argue that the only thing I could have done was defend myself. But like, I don't know. It still feels weird because you know, killing people wasn't always in my job description that I thought I was going to have.
I started kind of learning with Rocksharos because I wanted revenge. The more we do this, I kind of just.
I don't know. You
It's
feel like
so
you.
much easier to be kind.
Well, the thing is, it's like, do you want revenge for the satisfaction of it? Because like, honestly, I feel like I could
Well,
not
honestly,
want.
I keep thinking about the way I learned to face if I bully him. You know, I don't feel great about it anymore. At the moment, I was kind of proud, but I don't.
You know, I got a feeling that you're handling it better than he is.
Probably. You know, we can't go back to Ullvin, right? Because like he will not stop until he is dead or we are dead.
You know, after everything that's happened, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up dead by one of our hands. You know.
Yeah.
I know when we were in Ullvin, we were taking care of a demon, and he was still putting handcuffs on homeless people and stuff. So I just
Yeah, he's not a good. Lou's not a good guy.
But I just mean like, I'm not a very strong person, but if he fought me in that state now, I feel it wouldn't go well for him. And I'm not even the fighter in the group.
Peter. On the horizon.
I hate you.
Yes.
You see a rising pillar.
Let me say what I'm gonna say, everyone. Okay. There's a small thicket of trees down the coastline, or down, you know, in the landscape that you can see. It does a puff of smoke and appears to catch. There is a blackened smoke that is trailing off into the sky, about a mile or two off.
Dax, I need to.
Yeah, can you just drop me off on the ground first?
Can't do that again.
You,
You
ask each other to take the other one down.
I'm gonna bring it down.
Athletics check.
Can't you do like
Okay.
the magic Gorgon? Can't you just fly me down?
13.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh.
It's strenuous, but it's fine.
I don't try. I just kind of like parachute down, so like it's
About
not,
5 feet before the ground, you're dropped to the rocky surface.
It's not a gentle sort of deal. You're heavier than you look.
No damages.
Before catching the wind and flying off in the direction.
No, I'm not. leaving
Never
yet.
mind. Not catching the
I've,
wind.
I
Never mind. Do what you need to do.
I'm going to Dax.
You see, like around
Bye,
the
buddy.
corner of the wall, Dax starts running around. He's been just.
Nuanen in tow.
Yep.
Wow, you're really sweaty. You mind if I
Oh.
borrow your decanter? I
His
got.
what? Sure. And I pull out the decanter of endless water and I toss it to you.
I'm just gonna borrow it. I'm gonna fly off to the smoke.
For brevity's sake, about a mile off in a thicket of woods, catching the forest on fire. I rolled a natural one. Is your cauldron, who caught a dry thicket after a bit of blasting the underbrush with water. You're able to quell the flames, and your cauldron stabs the ground happily in a circle as it has met its mark.
I am glad you made it, and I'm glad there's no more smoke trails.
It sort of nods it. You can see your fire slug is coiled up, but is like nearly fitting the entire inside of the cauldron, and has filled it up to about like 3/4 of the way up the top at this point.
It seems like a lot of brushing.
You also see a number of ash and coal sort of that is collected around the sides of it, and the bottom. It appears that a number of tree branches and other detritus from the cauldron knocking into trees and moving has fed it over the last 2 days.
I'm gonna make my way back to the castle at the speed of the cauldron, just so I can keep an eye on it.
It's fast. You didn't see this thing crossing the countryside when you had gone from Olivin to Daggerford, but it's like a mechanical wonder of arcane proportions. It goes tick, 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 like a spider across the ground.
I
I
just
know.
like saw it or tried to approach.
I'm picturing the Beauty and the Beast carriage that has like the legs that like.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly that. Yeah.
This castle that we are residing in, it's mostly made of stone, right?
Yeah.
Stone and dust and dirt and stuff.
There's a wealth of a forest behind the castle.
Okay, just thinking about it. We're just gonna think about it for a sec. The portable hole. Would something on fire light the hole on fire?
It would like the contents.
I don't know. Do you want to try?
Well, the hole is.
I mean, I'm not necessarily. I don't necessarily just want to like.
What are you
put
trying
it-
to attempt here?
I'm just gonna think about whether or not it would be possible to store something that was on fire inside the hole, as long as there wasn't other things in it to burn.
I mean, stone isn't flammable. If you wanted it to kind of like have its
I
have free reign over.
was thinking
ruins.
about leaving it here, but I was also thinking about the possibility of having an opportunity. To bring
There
it
is a side bed chamber that has been blown out through the walls. If you MacGyver some stones in the front of it, you can create almost like a pen for it.
I don't want it to be restricted to one room.
Work with me, baby. What do you want?
I want to bring. So the first thing I wanted to do was, can I bring it with me? And that was the question about the hole. If I can't do that, I'm gonna let it. This is its castle now.
I'm gonna say it can stay in the cauldron, but if you'd like to let it out, it can roam free for sure.
I can't. It's gonna outgrow the cauldron quickly. It's only been in there for
Also,
2 days.
point of interest: the cauldron is like white hot
Yeah, molten.
on its exterior.
That's very true.
Yes.
It's kind of cool. I could have it run into things, but no, I'm not gonna do that.
For brevity's sake, I'll say we can get to that in a little bit, and I'll give you consecutive checks as to what goes wrong as we
Yeah,
approach them.
I'm gonna find a place in the castle that's relatively secluded, and And then I'm gonna take all the wood and shit I can find. I'm gonna stack it in there to keep it.
There's a
busy for
barracks
while.
right to the left, to this. I guess I call it the eastern wing, but it's not. It's like the northern wing, where there's just a bunch of scattered broken beds and things.
That's perfect.
You could just let it run wild.
I'm gonna put it somewhere where it'll stay there for a while.
There's also a bunch of fireplaces that I can curl up into.
That's cool. It'll probably outgrow that in the next day or two with all the shit it's gonna be eating, but
Don't feed it shit.
it's gonna eat what it wants.
Regardless, it does have a steady wealth of food. Alythia, what did you need?
I'm sorry, this is a point of information. Did I understand correctly when Ulvin said that
Hold on.
Hold on, sorry. Same.
My hometown?
O's and U's.
Hold on. Did he say that the hilt was coming with the historians with the
Yes,
with
correct.
The keystone?
They had essentially it was held in Waterdeep, and they had acquired it for this expedition.
Right,
They had
okay.
sent out a request, and it was granted by whoever.
And the hilt, that only temporarily deactivates the portal, right? As the hilt is being held in the space.
You don't know.
Okay, because I imagine it's one of those things where, like, you put the hilt in, it turns the portal on. But if you take the hilt back out,
I definitely haven't explained any of that.
It's
to
like
you.
the hokey pokey. You
Well,
take it all about. and
yeah.
that all
The
goes into
keystone is
house.
missing too.
Mhm.
So what you would assume is that when the portal is
activated by
open,
holy shit.
it is activated. They travel through. The keystone is removed after the
And it
portal
is.
is shut down.
Okay, so they're like, we don't want it to come back.
And
But
then
we don't
the
necessarily
wizard
need to get into the semantics of like how it's gonna go. Yes.
Did Grudge get to talk to everyone?
Nope, not
I
yet.
was letting other people.
Yeah,
go
well,
for a
I
second,
have
'cause
another
have
thing
a
I'd like
lot
to do,
of
but
me.
I'll do it after you.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There's
Um,
two people left? Two people left. Okay. Yeah.
So first off, we're obviously arm wrestling. You're gonna have to talk to us.
When we're done, I suppose.
Yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
we're-
This
that's
is all
okay.
happening over the course of 2 days.
yeah, this
Right.
is all happening over the course of
And
2 days.
one night.
I can dimension door. You guys don't know where I'm gonna be.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
like you holding that over our heads.
Can a person go into the bag of holding?
Totally. Only for 5 minutes though, you will pass out.
Oh.
You
Have you
will
ever gone
suffocate
into
and
A
die.
bag of holding?
Probably, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there
Have you
was.
been in one?
Well, yeah, my uncle had one as a kid, and we used to go in there, and like one time I passed out, and I don't know, it's just like not.
What?
It's not a big hole.
Canon
No.
say who?
Problem.
What?
Yeah, so
She was a
yeah.
kid.
Right, but you can,
I
like,
know, but you're
But
asking
you can
about
like
now.
crawl into it.
yeah. Plus,
You
if you
can't,
prop
not
the
as an adult.
if you prop the bag
Why not?
open,
It's a 2-foot
Okay.
opening.
Yeah.
sometime we'll try.
That's
Huh. No,
Not
I was
even
just
close to,
wondering.
like-
Maybe
I was
if we
just-
ever like meet a halfling or
You
something,
might be able to get in there.
convince them to get in there. I mean, we're a little big. Like I could probably.
Maybe can
I
just
stick
Peter
an
go
arm in.
one.
Well, Peter probably wouldn't fit completely.
Well, Peter could fit. I mean,
Peter!
Why are you
Nuanen?
bringing?
Well, sorry, we're gonna put Peter in the back of the room.
did you get in this bag?
We.
I love
Who
this.
has the necklace?
This is my favorite
Keep a straight
attempt.
face.
This is my favorite attempt to not have a conversation I've ever seen.
What? No, can you get this? I'm sorry, what? Was there a
I don't know who
conversation?
has the necklace. with
Save
the
some
eye.
material for questions, y'all.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah, are you?
Why does everyone keep
You
asking?
first.
You guys,
I asked
do you guys want me to? I can.
I feel like I was like maybe practicing my magic and you were watching. Because it's the lilies spreading out in front of me.
Oh, from
again.
the Wild?
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine right now.
Okay. Well then, how about a few days ago?
Which day?
Well, let's start with yesterday. After,
Uh.
because you looked kind of haunted after we woke up, and you were rather quiet. Not that that's horrendously unusual, but
Well,
quieter than normal.
it's just sometimes it's hard to I guess ground yourself in what is reality and what's not. And I suppose, you know, when I dream, it's so vivid, and you know, know, sometimes it feels like I could be gone for a day. Sometimes it feels like I'm gone for a month. And when I come back, it's hard to figure out which one is real. And so I guess the stuff with the beholder, it's just, you know, I didn't know if the fight was real, or if where I got transported was real, or if all of you dead was real, or if that being done was real, or if this is real, to be honest. It's just sort of like you keep jumping, I guess. But
Well, right now is real. You know that. Is that what happens when you dream? Is that why there was a hole in Alythia's wall? Is that why you held Nolan over the ship?
well, I mean, to be fair, I didn't know the wall was there, and I also didn't know that was Nolan. But I guess I suppose I guess for a moment I worried maybe that with all of you laying there and me being, you know, like with Nolan, and she just kind of trails off.
You know, bad dreams aren't unknown to me. I have a dream regularly where I watch each of you disappear into blackness around me, and I'm left all alone. I didn't understand the impact your dreams were having on you, so I'm sorry. I should have asked sooner, I guess.
I mean, you don't need to ask, but no, I guess I considered for a moment that maybe you were all dead, and that maybe but you weren't, and it was fine, and
we care for the people that are important to us first and foremost, Nuanen, and I care very deeply about everyone here.
as do I.
And we can only help with what we know of each other. And I've gotten the feeling that we are very good at not telling everyone the full story. And I'm trying to meet a little bit with everyone to try and stop that. Because I don't want to continue on my journeys without you. And I'm scared. A lot. And I don't like the feeling of losing control. Because I can't effectively protect anyone if I can't control myself.
That is something I can understand.
Yeah, I just I don't know, it feels a little bit like we need to remember to find time to have some fun.
What, you mean being here isn't fun? She cracks a smile.
I think you hear Val like, and then I like remember I'm not supposed to be listening, and I like walk farther away.
It does seem like we used to have a lot more fun quite a while back.
Mm.
And as we went, I guess I didn't realize that sort of stopped. Remember when we put stones around Val and we made her believe that
And
there
it was Oelke.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to. Remember when we made the fat man fall into a ravine?
He broke his leg.
And he broke his leg.
And his donkey died.
And we had to pull him back out.
And then we
He's
spent
gonna be
2 days
he's gonna be
walking back to-
stacked next time you see him. By the way,
His name is Chandel Champeo.
he
How
does.
dare you?
Yeah, there were. I guess there used to be time for you and me to pull pranks, and lately, I guess there hasn't been a lot to joke about.
It's been pretty serious lately. I miss that. Do we have to pull some pranks?
What do you have in mind?
Well, I've been thinking. Don has a stick up his ass.
Oh, I was thinking Alythia. but
Oh,
okay.
that too. We could get them both.
Cut back to the date. We want 2 days of full roleplay shenanigans. This is gonna take an additional session.
So, Nuanen, you see right away. Grudj, roll a perception check.
That is not great.
What's that? I'm gonna cue Kermit as a good chat.
I can't remember your character's name. Ricky. It's one of those two.
That is not great. That is a 7.
Nuanen, out of the shadow in a puff of black smoke directly behind Grudj, arrives Oldon, and he says, "You mentioned me?" next to your ear.
Jesus! God damn it, you need a bell.
Don't speak ill of the devil.
Now you know how it
like
feels,
fades
Grudj.
back.
Say don't speak ill of the dead?
The devils.
No, you said, Alythia, you said the devil. I heard it.
And he's gonna
You said
cast
the
Dimension Door again
Good job, old Don.
as he disappears.
Who would have thought Wuldan was the pranky type?
Okay, we're gonna.
We'll have to think of something.
I don't know how I feel about becoming friends with Don, but he is growing on me a little bit after that one.
Alright,
As daylight is waning,
Well played.
awesome. And then, so I think we'll plan something that they do, which will be so much fun. Anyway, and then at another time, I think Val's probably getting used to her new hammer.
Can I say what Val's doing?
Yeah. Tell me what Val's doing.
I don't know, they came out so fast.
no!
Dude,
I control my own character.
I think
I decide what Val is doing.
for a while Val is like checking in on everyone, having little story conversations, very cheery. And then I just kind of vanish a little bit from the group. And
Where?
if I can I go back to where the bodies were and
Yeah.
start trying to like last rites them /
course.
pray over them / move them /
I mean, I will say,
I don't know if
given
it's like better just to do it higher.
given who you are, like you can provide a ceremony for these people if you want
yeah,
to.
I think I'll take some time to do it that.
Do you have ceremony?
There is an
I do have
active
ceremony. I
fire.
don't have ceremony currently,
That's okay.
but I can do
I'll
it.
say you can perform funerary rites for these
Okay.
people
Yeah, I would say so.
under the veneration of
Active
Melee.
Are you gonna invite us to
Yeah.
watch?
Well, yeah, I would
or-
probably like get things
Do you wanna?
kind of like ready, and then if I was gonna light a
No,
fire,
but if
I would-
everyone else was.
I would go to Dax, my fellow religious, and talk
My
to him.
fellow religion.
We're religious.
We are religion.
Religious.
And I would just take care of that. So that way, hopefully, if my mother teleports in, he's not like, what are these dead bodies? Like, I'm not thinking that, but like, I'm, like just, and also they're dead bodies, so like,
Just gonna make a real quick insight check. For my
Stop!
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a 19.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do.
No, I am doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Yes,
Yes,
Not everything is malicious. When you bury a body, it's not because you're like, ooh, fuck that guy. Like,
I didn't kill these people, okay? I didn't kill
You're
them.
not cleaning
Nobody
up. You're
kills-
not cleaning up.
what
because
do
Vander's
you
coming.
mean? What is the other intention here?
I'm used to getting blamed for
I'm
that,
just
alright?
saying, like, other people...
Throwing dogs
in
off the
this
scent.
space, they probably don't need to be, desecrate. These poor people have been through enough. We should just let them
Hey Val, I have a question for you.
bury it, and if it's
Do you want
alive,
to loot the
nurture it.
bodies?
What?
Do you want to loot the bodies?
I honestly don't. I just
Okay.
want to like.
I just wanted to ask.
No,
I just wanted to ask.
Honestly, you know what?
You're the one touching them.
Level 1
That's just
Val
me.
would include the body.
Okay.
Level 1 now would have lived.
Aw!
Not level 9.
Character development.
Look at that. Look at that.
I think roleplay wise, what I probably do is I walk up to Val and I go, "Hey Val,
Huh?
I've
I'm
been-
like actively dragging. a
Oh,
What?
I wait till after this is done.
Oh,
You
you
want
want
a
to?
ceremony?
Do you want help with the skeletons?
Time is
I would help.
spadoodly. You don't have to be doing this for this
Yeah, I would
conversation.
not be interrupting your funerary rites to talk to you.
I'm eating an apple.
Okay, sounds good. I love the prop work.
Hey Val, I had thought to ask if you're okay. I'm gonna just skip that part.
I
Do you need a
honestly-
hug?
I just fully like too strong. About yeah. And then I think I'm like about as tall as you, but I like lift you off the floor a
You're
little
not
bit.
as tall as me, but that's fine.
Yeah, you guys are comparable. She's like 6'1".
No, I'm 6'5".
Okay, fine.
It's
Whatever.
close.
I like you
Every
got,
time I
like,
ask you about your
brush off
heights, everyone's
and
height gets like.
restraighten my self, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it goes Dax, Grudj, Nuanen, Val,
Val, Alythia.
Oelke, Peter.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, things have been.
Let me see your character sheets, everybody. I
Sorry.
know.
You just said, did you need a hug? And I really needed one, but I'll keep
Oh,
that
that's
in mind in the future.
Oh my gosh.
Hug jet. Yeah, it's been weird.
Very good.
I thought
Yeah.
this whole time I wanted to see Vander and I wanted to be here, and now
What's the deal with Vander, Val?
I don't know. I think sometimes the people in your life that you're the closest to, sometimes you have a way of growing apart from them, and you don't even realize it until you look back and realize things aren't realities. I mean, that thing that Beholder did, that was obviously not real, but then it just has me thinking of other things in my life that maybe I was just not perceiving, not aware of. I think of everyone hiding secrets, and I don't know.
Yeah,
Part of me is
I've
wanting
been trying to help with the secrets.
You've been keeping one.
Me?
Grudj.
I pull out a coin and I flip it between my fingers.
I really want to listen in.
This.
Roll a stealth check.
I'm gonna. I'm rolling around in the cauldron because I miss it. So.
Okay, we'll just get to that.
Molten hot, sweetie.
No,
The slugs out
This
of it
days
now.
ago.
Regardless, continue.
This is all that I have of either of my biological parents.
Is your mother a coin? I say very. I'm just like trying to.
No, but I
Okay.
I believe she was the orc of my lineage. This is a coin
Yeah.
to a mercenary group. The Order of the Gauntlet.
Oh, the Order of the Gauntlet. Do I know?
You would.
Oh yes, the Order of the Gauntlet.
You would know the Order of the Gauntlet.
I know them. I know them.
They operate within a couple different towns.
Neverwinter faction.
There is a faction of the Order of the Gauntlet within Neverwinter. They're largely a little older and more established than the Lord's Alliance, which has united
Oh.
this realm through trade. They stand more against like protecting cities against opposing threats versus garnering trade and upholding society. And also they come in a lot of different varieties. Some of the Order are less reputable than others. Some can be bought.
They're
There's
kind
been-
of like the Lord's Alliance.
They're a little more I'd say-
Ragtag.
they're more closely akin to a good version of the Zentarim than they are the Lord's Alliance.
This
The
one in
Lord's Alliance.
particular belongs to a house of theirs fathers in.
It's not overarching.
Well.
My father's name was Garlo Denon, and all that was ever left for him, from him, to me was that coin and a note that said, "If I can find him, we'll talk."
Do you want me to find it?
No. But that's the biggest secret I currently have.
Oh. Do you want one in return? Like, is this like I don't really
Jesus Christ.
swap
Also,
these?
you mind if you show
Yeah.
yours?
I love this. I love it.
No.
This
you
is a
don't-
transactional friendship.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a transactional.
Just trying to see
Friendship.
like
My mom's name.
yeah. Let me tell you a dirty
No,
dark
I-
VonVail secret.
There's several.
As I'm traveling and my need to follow through in a grudge has waned, I find myself thinking more about
Next step.
finding him in the next step. There are secrets that are not mine to tell, but this is the biggest one of mine. And I've been considering finding him.
I'd help you with that if you want. We'll do it right after this. Knock some sense into my brother.
Doesn't need to. I mean, it does kind of line up.
This
Our
is a
ship
knock.
is in Baldur's Gate, so. But it's under the Queen's Gambit too.
Okay. Can we get to Baldur's Gate? Is there what is?
We're traveling.
Your ship is currently arriving at Baldur's Gate, as you had sent them there
That's where
not
my
yet, but
ship is.
2
Our
days
ship
ago.
is.
Yes, it is Val.
My ship. Peter and my ship. Obviously the co-captain.
You can call it by its name.
The queen. The queen of the horizon.
It changes.
Didn't we say peace?
Peace,
Do
mommy.
I catch any of this?
I'm
What?
not like hiding it, but yeah, I'd say if anyone walking by, you see like Val hug Grudj for like
And Grudj looks
physically
in
pain.
pain,
This is not a romantic
physically
hug.
hurting.
This is a Val is hugging him too hard.
This is not a cooperative hug. This is a Val is getting her emotions out hug.
I'm done. I don't need any more hugs. I'm done.
But
Finished.
I figured since we are helping you with a family matter, it would make sense for us to begin trying to help each other with family matters.
Yeah, and
Since
Everyone at the table's like,
alright.
Everybody's perfect here.
But what? Like, tell me honestly. With Vander, as we've gotten closer to his arrival, I've watched you get increasingly more stressed out.
Interesting.
I didn't realize I was showing outward emotion.
I will do better.
You don't have to do better.
Stoicism.
I've said this to Nuanen, I've said this to Dax, I've said this to Alythia, and I've said this to Peter. If we don't know, we can't help. And we are a group that I hope cares for each other.
Yes. Yes.
Is there anything that you know that can help you prepare for Vander's arrival tomorrow?
Cross my fingers.
Why is it so tense over here?
We're talking about family stuff. Did you want to talk about family stuff?
Do you guys want to hug and get trio?
Bye, Peter.
So,
Uh,
the other night when we had the crazy smoke witch show
yes.
up?
Yeah.
Oh, the one made of flies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that bitch. Yeah.
She didn't show up.
I made 10 magic cheese wheels that night. If you'd like one, in a few days you can use it to cast scrying for free.
Wait.
Can we just eat it?
No. Don't eat it. Don't eat it now. So in a couple days we can scry.
So what's the date today?
Can we make it a
Because
cheese tack?
I made it.
That
on
is
the
not
16th.
my
It is-
responsibility.
17th.
17th.
It is the
It
17th.
is the 17th.
Well,
Of
after,
license.
after 3
Well, it'd be the
days, so
18th.
now it's the 19th after.
It would be the
19th.
8th. I have or not.
It doesn't matter. Keep
Okay.
going.
18th or 19th. But basically, after 7 days, you can use them to cast scrying.
What?
The cheese meals covered in wax, and you use
You're
them
gonna see
to
Vander
age
alive.
them, and then once you,
Magic?
it's magic cheese.
I throw up in the bushes at that very shot.
What?
He goes, "You're gonna see Vander tomorrow," and Val throws up in the bushes from that comment.
What should we?
You can
Should we
see
let you
everybody?
handle it, or do you want backup? Do you want like wingman or?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
You can always be my wingman. But I don't.
So go like this if you want
Two
me to punch
weeks.
him in the face, and then go like this if you want me to tie him up, and then
Yeah.
go like this if you want me to just.
I'm not really.
Is there
I'm not-
any non-violent things
No,
that you can
honestly,
signal?
I'm not really sure what I'm expecting from.
Oh, are we in a group again? Is this separate
Sure.
from that
This has been people
conversation?
slowly
Because-
conglomerating.
Let's
back.
do it again. Yeah.
Whenever you want to arrive.
Yeah.
If you give me 1 solid minute with Vander, I can scare him so shitless that he will do whatever we want.
Yeah. You think that would work?
It probably would. I believe her.
I believe her, but I don't know that anything scares Vander.
Well, no, that's not the point.
Let's say I have a good ability to scare people magically.
Do you care at all about what happens to Vander? Because I don't know
Yes,
if you should.
Peter. Yes.
I don't know if
I
you should be.
traveled all this way
I
to
understand.
find my brother.
But why are we
because I care.
considering threatening him into not doing something?
Well, she can seduce him instead. She's pretty good at that, I guess.
Ooh, wait, what?
Have you seen me seduce somebody?
No, but you
Hold
keep telling
on.
me how
I
good you are.
have.
Hold on. Sorry.
I can freeze a person in their tracks.
Okay, if my brother that I don't have
But
was
if
doing something I had no idea about, the last thing I would want is for my friends to start attacking them.
Then why are
We
we
are
here?
not attacking.
We're here to see what's going on and if we can help.
I just want to.
And if we can stop it from happening, great. If we can't stop it, I want to continue helping.
So we talk to him. Then maybe we tie him up.
And
And then
we
try to
drag
talk
back
to him.
Neverwinter.
No, we're not going back to winter. Nobody's going back to Neverwinter. That's not why we're here. I just want to see him, say hello, find out if there's anything he needs help with or if he knows more about.
Would you go with him?
If he knows more about what?
The fire. The night our the house outside of Neverwinter burned down. It burned down, and but he always acted like he. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. I just know that he knows more, and he's always known more, and it's always been a secret.
So you think, after not seeing him for years and years and years, you're going to stop him from going to hell
I just want to
and
say hi.
tell you a secret that he's had?
I'm not gonna tell him anything. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. All I can do is be here to try and be some sort of sounding board of logic and.
I'm opposed to forcing him to do something, but I know Dax, if he was sneaky about it, he could lay down his own truth and get him to accidentally divulge everything.
I was thinking about that.
Wait, what?
I also have a way
Wait,
of
you do what?
persuading. It's like a circle, and then we all make a pinky promise,
We just haven't
swearsies, and tell the truth to
to
reveal.
You
do
can
it.
force
Our
people to
group.
tell the truth?
To do it to
Well,
any of our
I
group.
could
We
if.
haven't had to force anybody in our group to do it because we trust each other.
Well, see, that's the Vander is very much not a group.
That's true.
He may be
Very
family,
true.
but
Isn't that still force, though? You said you didn't want to force him to do anything,
No,
and now you're
no.
talking about forcing him to tell the
using
truth.
force to make him do something feels different than making him accidentally tell the truth.
But taking over someone's mind is better than using physical force. Is that it?
No, it's not taking over his mind. He can
I
choose
say-
not to answer.
We start with hide.
And that's
How
a
are
great,
you doing?
That's a great place.
And we move from there, depending on how he wants to move things.
I think maybe we.
May I offer a piece of advice?
Sure.
I don't know.
Anyone better than
What's up, bellboy?
I forgot you were here.
He usually keeps things close to himself. I don't know, if you're wanting to pull information from somebody, the tighter their grasp is going to get. So perhaps, I don't know, a sibling might be able to loosen his vice on his information.
It's kind of, I don't know, weird.
On one time.
I do have a quick question. Do you know if Vander keeps a diary?
Are you gonna seal his diary?
No.
What's with you and diaries?
The boy doesn't keep
They just happen
much.
to be good sources of information.
You were going to read his diary.
No.
Do you read people's diaries?
No.
Quickly
'Cause
check
nobody
to see if she
keeps
still has
diaries.
hers.
Everybody checks on their
I'm
personal
checking.
traveler's diary.
Just because we all lie to each other doesn't mean I force the information into my brain.
In the 6 months that I've known him, he doesn't keep much of anything.
Wait.
Just his own thoughts and a dangerous ambition.
It will be fine.
Hold on.
We're quite used to that.
When the traveling historian party arrives, will they immediately attempt to open the portal, or will there be some camps set up, or...
I believe the itinerary is to research Dragonspear Castle for about 24 hours. Then the rites take place and we travel through.
I see.
So we have some time.
We'll have time.
If it's something my brother truly doesn't want, I can't force him to.
No point musing about what is to come.
Thank you, old Don.
You can strongly suggest.
So what I'm getting from this conversation is we're just going to be moral support.
Yes.
But also,
I'm not going
if
to.
there is a way,
I
Of course you are.
anticipate
Wouldn't expect you to.
Did I sense a spark? Very similar. What? They said the same comment about Uldan.
Val,
I don't get it.
you know we're here. You know what we can do.
Yeah.
If you need help, just ask.
you just give us the signal. You know, if you don't want to go to hell, you don't want your brother to go to hell. I'm not necessarily into the whole forcing thing, but I'm here for you. So.
Peter, do you want to go to hell?
Particularly afraid of
Peter,
hell.
do you want to go to hell?
I think what I just said may have made a very clear statement about
No.
fearing hell.
No.
Don't want
So it's decided we're not going to hell.
I would much rather not
I
meet
would-
my real
I would
parents.
prefer to stay.
Oh, God, thank
I
you,
would
Lord. I
prefer
thought we
stay
were
on
going to
the
end up in
plane.
hell.
I don't need to see the planes of. I'm. Yeah. I don't.
Do
need to
what
see
you
the planes
want.
of death.
It's the trip of a lifetime.
Sure is.
I'm sure it is. Hold on.
The end of
I,
it.
I have spells to practice. Good night, everyone.
Yes.
There is one more thing I want to do, but it's so time consuming.
What is it?
I want to fight you.
Okay, let's maybe. Do we want to play out a fight?
I also have 8 hours of downtime.
I want, like, at some point, we can have, like, the characters can have a discussion about when we're going to do this, but I want to fight. I want to fight Nuanen full on
Okay.
with dice and maneuvers
Of course.
to test out my new equipment.
I'd be honored.
Our time is waning. I will say, let's do that as maybe like a little narrative spoiler for like
We could
next
do it in
time.
place of the question.
Yes.
I don't
There's like
know.
a
I
pregame-
think this should be like a thing. Regardless,
I know, that's
let's
what I'm
bring
saying.
ourselves
Next
back to the
time.
table.
I had it in my notes of things I wanted to do is actually fight that.
As the first day wanes and night gives you all peaceful rest, the second morning emerges over the horizon, and with it, it brings 2 shrouded caravans. I know not if you are still looking and surveying, waiting for them to come.
Yeah.
However, upon your vantage, overseeing the small funerary mounds that you had just placed before, the 2 caravans drawn by horses make their way up the broken road towards the ruins of Dragonspear Castle. And with it, you see the forms of people you don't recognize. A red tiefling, a blue tiefling of smaller attire, a halfling, a gnome, a deep-skinned human male, another human who's kind of bobbing in and out, and a 6-foot-tall, blonde-haired individual that you recognize. Much different, given his brown streaks and 1 brown eye. And with that, we will end today's session and pick up there next time.
So good! We're finally here with him. It's all
Fight! Boom! No!
This has been coming since like level 5 or 6.
Thank you all for watching! Goodbye!